Welcome to today's session of Euro Levels. Before we get to the first level in the queue, which will be Something by Monokuma, we're going to do a quick warm-up level, just to make sure all the systems are working and that our audio especially is functional. So let me know if we have any trouble, because we're going to celebrate, well, realistically, 5 years and 11 months of Mario Maker 1 and 2 years and 2 months, approximately, of Mario Maker 2, with this creation, a very recent creation by RPC from Korea, a Super Mario medley. And we'll see if things actually hold up in terms of the technical side of the stream, because sometimes things do bug out a little bit in the first few minutes, and it's important to get that out of the way and put in any fixes before we play the queue properly. So welcome, Monokuma. You will be first today, so let's see how this goes. There's an on switch at the very end. Stop. And thank you for the follow. And, you know, we totally could have jumped up there to get the power-ups, but that would have led to death. Maybe that's not such a good idea. And Ravel MX and Antoduve and Tempest Funk, welcome everybody. Mimuga, I did not know you had an injury with your arm. That's very unfortunate. That completely wrecks one's ability to play Mario Maker. And you have to resort to watching the stream. Have I ever played a Punch-Out game? Yes, I have, actually. If your level is a Punch-Out concept, I know you sent me your Maker code, but if you want to show me a Punch-Out concept level, I'd be happy to see it. I would understand what you're getting at. Not only have I played some of the Punch-Out games, I've also played the wonderful 101, which has a couple of Punch-Out boss fights. And, did we totally not get a clear condition? What was the clear condition? 3 1-ups. Yeah, there we go. Let's pay attention here. And Bamuga, you recovered a lot of movement in the fingers, and you're getting your cast removed on Monday. Yeah, I didn't know you had the injury in the first place, because I think you hadn't actually been here in a while, so let's get right into the queue. Okay, for anybody new here, our usual order is to swap between next and sub next when we do have people with subs in the queue. Right now, I think we're just going to go... well, we'll have Glitch as the first sub after the first level that we see here from Monokuma. And yeah, I filled up a little faster than usual. Sometimes we have some dropouts along the way. Just so people know, I don't really enforce a hard time limit per level. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. And we'll try to make good decisions about when to move on, so everybody gets played. One other note is that if you are cleared, you are welcome to resubmit, but I will be closing queue a little bit earlier than usual today, probably around a 2-hour mark or so, because we're going to have a part 2 to this program at the very end, depending on whether we have time. So, go to the minor circuit. Okay, let's do that. Oh, I see. You got a whole set here. And we want to turn on comments to see just how badly Glass Joe has been doing. And Terminator, welcome. All right, let's take a look at this. And sure, let's turn on the comments as long as the user comments don't obstruct it too much along the way. Okay, so we're going to get to Super Ball. And yeah, Hyperion Smokestack, things did fill up very quickly for some reason. So here's the Punch-Out minor circuit, Glass Joe. Hey, let's take a look at his stats. We know Glass Joe has a record of 199, which makes you wonder who he actually defeated. Okay, I think we just punch him out by hitting the on-off switches and dodging accordingly, so... there we go. Whoops. So much for the Super Ball, but at least we'll pick one up at the other side, and so the Super Ball just gives you a little bit of health. And here's Von Kaiser, who... Okay, game audio is out already? Okay, I didn't quite realize that, but thank you for letting me know, because my dials seem okay and something is wrong on my side, so let's fix that very quickly. Yeah, if it's fading in and out, that's not good. That's the thing that we try to catch early on in the stream, just to make sure everything gets sorted out to get a decent signal for everybody's levels when we play them. Okay, thank you for bearing with that. Hopefully that stays fixed. And yeah, Monokuma, most of the artwork in this stream is just taken from my vast library of Odyssey screenshots. And we see the stats for Von Kaiser. Yeah, I did see that there was more than just a record. And Von Kaiser is going to take a few extra hits because he is represented here by Boom Boom. Okay. There we go. We just keep punching. Guy Glass Joe defeated lost by forgetting about the fight. Yeah, that sounds quite plausible if he just decided not to show up. Anyway, here's Disco Kid. Record 412. And yeah, once again, do let me know if we have sound problems later on. I see that Disco Kid was going to dance around a bit, which means we need to watch his position here. Nope. One more chance. Oh, we actually did lose. Losing on the minor circuit. What an embarrassment. And, okay, Hyperion, yeah, I do see that happening again. Let's hope that this isn't going to happen all stream, because we actually did have a bit of a disaster stream a couple of weeks ago. And that is an experience I would not like to repeat. So yeah, sorry about all the problems so far. We had a flawless stream yesterday, and so I think I maybe got a bit complacent about that. I will make sure that things are working. Okay, back to the minor circuit. And yeah, just do continue to let me know if there are issues. We will hopefully not run into it with every single level, or we might have to restart the stream, which might take a few minutes, but we'll do it just to make sure that everything is fine if it really comes to that. Also, I love the kind of star arrangement of the tracks. You know, so you can land each of your star punches, just like you would in the original game. And Hyperion Smokestack, you have a negative COVID test. Wonderful. Glad that checks out. Whoops. Okay. Not too hard here, we just need to alternate side to side, and there we are. The clouds are the audience and lava bubbles are his fists. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't notice that about the clouds, but now that you mention it, that's very visible. Alright, back to Disco Kid. Let's not get punched out this time. Ah, whoops. Maybe a bit over-eager, but we got through. Just punching Disco Kid entirely on the left side. Now time for the minor circuit title bout with King Hippo. With an 18-9 record. We actually should see some of the other stats as well. We can do that if we go back. I know it blinks through a couple of different messages, so we can read that. 18-9. Unknown height. And he's a big guy. Represented here by lots and lots of moles because he takes lots and lots of hits. And also dodges quite well, apparently, but if we stay in the middle, we actually should mostly be fine. Okay. And indeed, the moles are going to track my position, and so I should use that to my advantage if I can just bounce them over to the desired switch. There we go. Of course, that's assuming they don't just bounce off the wall. Let's just do this carefully. Okay. And then we got Big Boom Boom there. Yeah, this guy takes quite a lot of punishment. We've got some time, though. Another character ruined for you by Captain N. That's a fairly deep cut. Whoop. Okay. There we go. Now, head here should be fairly easy to hit, just given that it's gonna clump around all over the place. There we go. And let's remember to turn off the comments before the next course, but let's give this a clear. And that's it for the minor circuit. Okay, hopefully the stream is still holding up. Let's thank you for that submission, Monokuma. I know the queue is getting pretty long already, but if you want to resubmit while the queue is open for the other circuits, you're quite welcome to. Otherwise, I am back with fewer levels next week on both the Friday to Saturday and Saturday to Sunday streams. Great job, Mac baby, exactly. Who knew King Hippo was just 5 moles in a trench coat? Yes, but in what orientation? That's the really interesting question. Okay, let's pluck a sub from the queue. First one in is going to be Hyperion Smokestack, actually, so let's grab you quickly. You just have the one for tonight. Ah, okay, so you fixed up the one from yesterday then, if I get your meaning. Indiana, welcome. King Boo's construction site. And, oh yeah, I think the name and the theme also changed with some of these further refinements, but thank you for giving me, offering me first clear on this version. I actually see from the main screen how you fixed the break that we discovered on this previously, so let's walk through the solution the somewhat more intended way. Okay, we've checked all this previously. I actually know roughly how this is going to flow, I think. So if it seems like I'm taking some shortcuts, that's because we did an earlier version of this yesterday and broke it. And yeah, we'll just head over here, grab the mushroom. We know that this red block eventually reveals a POW. And we know that, well, you'll see because we'll reveal the rooms as we go. One thing I noticed yesterday with this actually was that, yeah, this remains set in place because then that way you prevent, well, no, even if you break all of that, you could still wall jump up, but that's okay. We'll break everything and smash it up. Okay, this we know about. And we know what to do with the on switch as well, but first I have to grab the P switch. You were able to extend the timer to fix. Yeah, that's a good idea. In general, for puzzle levels, even if things are fairly short, you want to give people a very generous amount of thinking time. You know, in case they're slow or if they want to experiment and poke around. What was it doing? Yes, key door. We can do that. And one of the things that you'll be able to see is that if we come through here with the P door, you can see how everything is set up here, which will allow me to take a look at this briefly to see if we can break it. Yeah, I guess if you fire the POW too early, then you would disable the mechanism, but then you would reload the room to do that. Because if you drop everything now, the Muncher is going to be in the way, and you don't want that until you have the POW. So you want to come back here with the P switch already activated, and then you want to hit the on-off switch. So the way we'll do that is this. We will toggle the on-off switch in the first room. We'll go back. And in fact, we don't, if the state is already set to off, we're fine. We don't actually need to do anything other than probably hit right here, in fact. Or do I? Oh no, I think I misread that. Right, because you actually do need the drop to be on screen. Wait a minute, let's take a look at this properly. I actually want to go back through the key door first. Let's see this. Oh, look at the blasters that come down in that location. That's new. Ah, I didn't know that the Muncher was blocked by the off blocks over here. Okay, that's the change that we need to account for. Also, this over here, I wonder what that's all about. Hang on. That sent something up. Fireflower. Okay, Fireflower allows you to get this through this door. I don't think it's actually necessary to use it for reasons that I will illustrate in just a moment. Oh, maybe it is. I'm just thinking about the logic here. Let's go through this door. Yeah, you're fine. You would need the E-switch and the off. And that I did not think about. Blaster's coming down there too. It's not the P-switch that way. But let's map this out, because I think what's going to happen is I'm going to take the P-switch. And we're currently on the on state. That's fine. I've already got the POW being held. We're going to do it like this. And that's it. Like I said, I think it's doable without, without the Fireflower and Ice interaction, actually. You don't really need to go through that door in order to get the timing down still. I think it's skippable. But anyway, thank you for offering me first clear on that Hyperion Smokestack. Hopefully that was a useful playtest. I think people might check for the Fireflower just out of curiosity anyway, just given the bullet over there, but I think it is possible to bypass that from what I'm seeing. E-block under the first door makes it necessary. Actually, now that you mention it, yeah, that's one thing I didn't account for, is the blasters falling onto the P, because when I was looking at that visually, I would have missed that, and wouldn't have been able to guess that in advance, so. And B-Minutes, welcome. Ravel MX. Let's do a single-player adventure through something that is undoubtedly designed for multiplayer. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, RavLMX, as you can see, is a 4P fan and designs a lot of things with multiplayer in mind. We're going to take a look at the single route, though. I see that you've got tons of likes on this already, and it's likely to take off somewhat. But let's work with our frogmates to escape the castle in single player. B-Minus, I think I did do your original Kaboom Castle at some point. I thought we had checked that, but if so, we'll trade out for something else. Anyway, we'll take the single-player gate. And this is all about taking bombs and, whoops, taking one bomb, shall we say, and chucking it quickly enough to do that. Ah, that's the 4th level in the series. Okay, I see. I wasn't clear on that. Let's blow everything up here. Get a nice new spawn. And enter that gap quickly enough to toss everything up. Here we are. Okay, so we hit everything here, and if you take damage from a bomb as a frog, though, I think that is a death condition. Unless it's possible. I mean, you do get a frog at the beginning of each room, though, I think, right? You do get a frog refresh somehow. Okay, it's finite. I see. I see. But it's possible to get into a losing position here if you're being really sloppy. I mean, I can see how that's just part of the multiplayer 2v2 concept as well. We probably just have to bump this. This is a nice interaction, not one that I see very often just because it would only really work in this kind of theme where you have gravity on the spike ball, but the ability to just swim upwards and push. I think it only really works with this Frog Knight Castle idea, in fact. If you want to do it gracefully, there are clumsier ways to do this, perhaps. I don't know if we broke enough already, but let's just position ourselves and... Yeah, there we go. And yeah, you get a frog and a helmet refresh here, given just the damage potential from this room. And thank you for the follow. Okay. And up we go. And yeah, same idea here. Whoops, let's get another helmet. L64, welcome. And here we go. Yeah, of course we're going to check this just to see. These are just the exits from the co-op routes, as you can see. And this gates you off with the P-switch as you spawn in, just given the position that you're spawning in from. And if you spawn here with the P-switch already active, same idea. Although, if you wait for the P-switch to expire when you enter with the P-switch, let's see, then it is actually possible to go backwards and try to retrace your way through the multiplayer route. There isn't a particularly good reason to do that, but yeah, it does gate you off here. It is possible to get trapped with the P-switch, though, if you approach it now, I think. So you can lock yourself like that if you are a single player and you just have a taste for exploration. That's the 1v1 part of the multiplayer route. Okay, I see. Interesting. Yeah, it seems like it's quite an adaptable level the way you've gated it, but I know you've done tons of this stuff before. And thank you very much, RavLMX, for showing us that. Looks like it is a concept that would be a lot of fun in co-op. For sure. We'll have to do some of your levels in multi at some point if we can actually set that up. Okay, mark that as a win, and let's plug in sub next. X3N HD5 VNG. Yeah, Glitch, let's see what we haven't done that we can attempt in a reasonable amount of time. This looks fairly new, actually. Dashinator. We can take a look at that one. I think I didn't play any kind of early version of this one either. And we played a lot of the other recent creations, so sure, let's do Gunhead 2 and then Dashinator. And our hero, outpace this speed master. Well, Red Knight was able to do it. And very quickly. So let's see how we do. Red Knight, of course, another viewer level streamer who usually runs a little bit after me. And who comes by and submits every now and then as well. Always nice to recognize some of the other players who are grabbing world records. Ah, that's why it's the Dashinator, because it just rams you. And then that creates a pit over there. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't really have time to read this room properly, but let's not die to the dash panel and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, I didn't really read what the interaction was because I was too busy getting whacked. I see, you fire into the on-off switch a few times. And that's going to be tricky because the positioning has to be pretty good to not ram into everything. You can shoot the spike ball. Okay, you should never shoot to the left because that gives you an awe, and... However, if you do stand on donut blocks to the left, that actually does allow you to reposition yourself. But it seems like there's something going on with the POW block that would... Oh, it would prevent you from getting here because of the infinite P-switch. I see. So this is going to be tough, actually. You have to fire at the on-off switch quite a few times. And I haven't actually been able to position myself to do that yet, so... No, I was trying to turn around and shoot to the right, but as you can see, if I am on the ground while I'm on the dash panels, I can't actually turn. I have to do a bit of a short hop, turn, and shoot the spike ball. Anyway, I do at least know what the positioning is going to be for hitting the on-off switch at all. And we have to do that a few times. And Aria Symphonia, we're doing quite well. Hope you're also having a good day. And nope, we're just going to get whacked right away. So yeah, I have to stay reasonably centered, keep the spike balls away, and be very consistent about actually shooting into the pipe. That's pretty much going to be the essence of this concept here. Nope, too far. Quick reset at least. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be at least 4 shots, given the setup on the top row. I haven't looked at it very carefully yet. So, Aria Symphonia, this is kind of a boss level. You have to get the key by moving the blaster from the top right all the way over here to stomp on a bomb in a hop chop. The way you do that is you need to fire at the on-off switch past a pipe multiple times without dying and without hitting the P-switch or the POWs in the bottom left corner. And yeah, it's part of a whole series of levels by Glitch that are basically boss fight levels using the cannon hat. So there is going to be some kind of timer on this, I think, too. I actually didn't see what activated that. Oh yes, it is based on the icicle. You have to run all the way over to the icicle in order to reset, which means that you are required to get past the spike ball in order to get safely to the right side. And yeah, B-Menace, this is part of the second series. It's not part of the original Super World, which I understand Glitch might be doing some revisions on anyway, soon enough. Nope, I was trying to fire to the right, and I actually outran my own shot because of the dash panel. So you have to be fairly careful about that. You might have to fire pretty much at point-blank range or do a charge shot. Because otherwise the dash panel actually sends you ahead of your own projectile, and that's bad news. So. If you miss the hat, there is one in the room. Oh, you mean if you miss the original hat here? Sure, let's try to skip it and just confirm if that's actually the case. You spawn into the hat. Yeah, I like that design change. I think that's much better. And yeah, as you can see, I just outran my own shot once again. So the spike ball, of course, is also not allowed to hit the POWs to the left, so we do need to blow it up every time. Okay. Okay, there we go. Shooting the spike ball from the right actually might not be a bad idea. Jump over it, shoot to the left. I'd have to do a bit of repositioning after that, but at least I do know everything I'm supposed to do now. I see what to do with the icicle for the reset. Okay. The problem is with that timing, I will land right on top of the spike ball on the next pass, and that's going to be a fail, so maybe shooting it right to left is not going to work because of that reason. And yeah, Hyperion Smokestack, there are a lot of different ways that you can do an infinite P-switch. Usually it's with something like an entity limit block in some other levels where you want to make sure the player, has a P-switch lock as a thing they have to progress through. I've seen a couple of those levels on the stream before, actually, so yeah, infinite P-switch is very, very useful as a form of state switch, basically, that is independent of the on-off state. Yeah, I mean, luckily in 3D World, the dash panels are able to replace the function of one-way panels when it comes to stuffing the editor to do things with the entity limit, so okay. Okay, that's a good pattern. And that's actually going to get me through. Let's do this. And then this is going to be part 2. Round 2. Let's get walloped. Okay, I haven't had time to read this room yet. I clearly need to alternate. But I need a moment to do the initial reading, I think. You see bonsais here, and the skip squeak is a jump detector. Skip squeak requires that whenever you jump, you switch sides. It's the skip squeak on the top left that is acting as a jump detector and forcing you to switch positions, as you can see here. But we have to do so when we are not going to get whacked by the icicles, so we need to let the bonsais pass first. Then we make the first jump past the icicles to get to the other side. Okay, very quick jump detector. That's nice to see. The issue is, of course, that spike ball coming down. We need a few jumps in order to move the blaster over. Jumps are all it's going to take, actually. So we shoot the bonsais to create room. And when we don't jump to shoot the bonsais, we have to shoot them from a grounded position before the spike ball falls on my head. Okay. And there we go. Okay, doing well so far. Whoa. There we go. Bit of a narrow escape on the last shot there, but we made it. And let's get into round 3. No checkpoint yet, so if there's no checkpoint before round 3, ah yes there is. With a Cannon Box logo, of course. Okay, so Skip Squeak does everything for me here. But then what happens? We need to activate the P-switch though. I don't yet see how that's happening. I see that a P-switch activation of some sort is going to kill the Skip Squeak. Let's just read this room again. And yeah, Glitch, you've designed a lot of bosses at this point. Ah, I see. We don't want the bullets to hit the blocks on the left side, because if they do, they're going to drop the blaster that's in the bottom left corner, and that's going to be a failure condition. It's going to be a failure condition because the blaster is going to come down and block the door. So what do we actually do? We need... Ah, no, I understand. Moving this blaster here is also a loss condition. What we actually want to do is we want the bullets to hit the left side. No, we want to fire at the left side with the cannon box. Because what we want to do is we want to blow up the P-switch on the left side before... oh no, we can't do that actually. It's not the right kind of obstruction. We want to blow up the left side and hit the P-switch before the cannon actually comes down on top. Yes, I see that now. In order to do that, we can't just blow up all of these guys. We just need to make sure that I only jump when I'm jumping over a bullet. I don't want to do any other jumps, because I have a very tight budget on the number of jumps I'm allowed to make. So what we do is we make sure every jump counts. The way we make sure every jump counts is just by jumping over the bullets one at a time without too many misses along the way. The on-off changing the conveyor is something that is throwing me off quite a bit. But that's okay, we'll get through without the cannon box. And that's what happens when you get through without the cannon box. I basically get locked out by the power-up check. So we do need to keep the cannon box. That was not absolutely clear to me, because I know sometimes you do it and sometimes you don't. And yeah, that's going to be a loss. So, the one thing that I'm not accounting for properly so far, as I said, is the conveyor direction switch, because that's something I need to adjust around. And I need to adjust around it without jumping. Okay. So we just tug in the opposite direction every time. And we are through. And, yeah, of course we're going to grab everything here, hopefully without dying. And top of the flagpole. Thank you for that, Glitch. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Nowhere near Red Knight's time, of course, but definitely one of the more manageable ones, as long as you read what's going on. I find that sometimes with these fights, the first cycle can kill you so quickly with something new and unexpected that takes a few attempts to actually understand a room. But once we did, I think it was actually very clear what to do, so thank you for that. And yeah, I know you're filling up the Gunhead 2 series very, very quickly. Let's take a look at what's next. Next is going to be Tempest Funk, who is going to send me ST8, NM8, CGN. So feel free to skip this at any time. Ah, I see. It's a getting over it style level, which means the clear rate's going to be quite deceptive. It's funny because Mathtor, also known as Nobody Could Say My Old Name, is exactly who I would expect to be racing for records on a getting over it level. Let's see how we do. This was for the race today. Okay, hopefully the race went well. I know you had a whole set of these for Maker Madness 3. I didn't know the event was today, actually. I think you mentioned it to me, but I just had it slip my mind. Ah. I see. Well now. let's see if we can understand the timing here. We probably do want a little bit of push momentum from that guy. Not that much, though. There we go. Same idea here. Then let's not get bumped too hard out here. That was surprisingly manageable, almost. Yeah, we don't want to get bumped on the right side of the blaster as well. I think it's almost certain to be a dead end. We can always check, but I'm sure you've accounted for that. Okay. Over here. Whoops. Let's not lose to the simple stuff. An anti-soft lock getting over it. I mean, you know, in many cases, getting over it is essentially just one big anti-soft lock if you... Well, I mean, it's not really soft lock if there's no checkpoint involved, but no other progress. But you see what I mean. Oh. It's a much more dynamic setup than your usual getting over it idea, which is just about tight jumps rather than anything you can actually plan around. Okay, there we go. And, okay, over to one-way panel. That's not a huge reset, thankfully. Until, of course, we bump into one of these guys. Like I said. Okay. Let's try this again. I definitely didn't run out of platforms. We've got plenty to work with here. Okay. No, I'm cutting my momentum too early, as you can see. So, let's not make that mistake. It's the adjustment after you get pushed by the blaster that I sometimes overcorrect for. I like how you can partly rescue yourself so you don't fall all the way down. There we go. Okay, up we go. And B-Menace, you think your friend played this and gave up? Yeah. Like I said, high clear rate is pretty deceptive here. You have to wonder how many of those are timeouts. Okay. Almost rescued that. I mean, just remember, the creator did have to clear check this first. So at least the misery was a shared experience. Okay, let's come over here. Seemed like I had the easiest time with that on the first pass, actually. Ah, that's an awe. And yeah, Terminator, P-Balloon would simplify a number of things, but that's why you don't see them in getting over it so much. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, probably should plan that out a little better. I don't really have much room for adjustment there, though. I do just need to jump quickly and accurately. Unfortunately, when you are entering this segment here from the right side, you actually have a much narrower window to work with. I think it's easier going from the left. Not that I'm going to reset to the left to do that, of course. Okay. Getting closer. That's progress. We have a lot more to go, of course. Well, I guess that initial room to the left was just one big loading room for the whole trampoline cycle that we see here. Nope, jumping a little too high there. "119 seconds here. We'll likely have our first timeout. Let's see how far we get. Nope. Still the record. Whoops. And, Terminator, you're saying this is what happens when you give creators too much power? No, I don't really think so. This is what happens when creators actually work under a very specific set of constraints, in fact. Whoops. Trying to rescue that. That was maybe a bit impulsive. Okay, up we go. Okay. Trying to reach for that a few times, but that was not very well planned, unfortunately, since that was my first time getting that far, and we did have to learn some of that as we go. I will probably just reset this attempt, given that we won't have enough time left to do anything useful here. And yeah, for this format, it's a very entertaining one. I was saying the same thing about the precision level that Tempest Funk showed me yesterday as well. That's a format I usually don't enjoy, but when the setups are interesting enough from a maker's perspective, then, you know, there's actually some stuff you can look at in terms of level design, right? And that's a lot more fun for everybody. Yeah, it's that backwards momentum here that creates a little bit of trouble. Looks like this is a fake out if it's telling me to go to the left. Unless we get up here and... Ah, no, we do have to bounce over here in order to make it over. Now we need to not get bounced to the left. And that's... We just... Ah, no, I missed it. Didn't realize that was a thing. Okay. Hey, look at that, we broke it, we broke it. Just from despawning, I think, so... That makes that part easier. I don't know if that's intentional. It doesn't seem intentional. Oh, we no longer broke it. Because the clown car had simply not loaded in, I see. Well, it gives you a kind of a partial recovery point, which is okay. We've had a lot of those so far to make things easier. Okay, let's not try to jump over that, even though I do prefer going up from the left side. Okay, there we are. Okay. Need to be pretty careful with this bit here. Then we try to get some momentum up above. And Mail64, gotta go. Yeah, that's fine. Glad you could stop by briefly anyway. And Hyperion, thank you so much for the gift sub. Okay, let's try this again. And yeah, you have a great stream as well. We'll be having quite a lot to get through today, I'm sure, just given everything we're dealing with currently, but we'll see a decent chunk of this so far, actually, I think. Lots to go, probably, but we'll deal with that as it comes. Okay. Actually do have a method for that, roughly. I did this very successfully at a previous time, and yeah, we just need to jump directly into it. I've been playing too many Meng levels, that's something familiar to us by now. Okay, good. Now we hit the clouds. This cloud, rather. Then we have a jump up this next one here without getting bumped. We got bumped. We didn't even get bumped, I just missed, actually. Never mind that. Then we swerve around this way. Yeah, the recovery points are quite nice, I think. We try not to jump too far because we get bumped to the right. There we go, and then we have a little bit more without dropping down below. Let's recover to this block here if it looks like we're going to fail. And yeah, it's that momentum of the block pulling back to the left that is throwing off that jump there, so we do need to be careful here. It is pulling me against a wall, and that's the thing that's throwing off my ability to guess whether I can make it all the way over, but... Oh, reset. And Nugukaza, welcome. And okay, that's a big reset. Complete reset, in fact, but that's okay, we made it fairly far, actually. And yeah, Glitch, thank you for dropping by. Glad we could get through yours pretty swiftly today and show off a fairly enjoyable experience. Whoops. That was about halfway, excellent. I mean, we will not be able to complete this round before hitting time up, but let's see if we can get back to practice that segment, because I can see where the difficulty is coming from when it comes to that particular location. It might make sense to start over at this point at about 120 remaining. If we're getting bumped all the way down anyway, we may as well reset so we can actually leave ample time for good attempts. Okay. The coin trails actually help quite a bit when they are there initially. And of course, once they disappear, you do have to work a bit with your memory here. But that's okay. Hey, we got back here fairly swiftly. Okay. Nope. Alright, let's try not to get totally bounced this time. Whoops. Like I said. Oh, we got totally bounced this time. Okay. And okay. Could be worse. Could be much, much worse. You were trying to speedrun it to see if it felt nice to go fast. Yeah, I mean, the first attempt we had here that was really clean was very smooth, in fact. In terms of just the obstacles feeling relatively frictionless. You just find good timings for everything you need to do. Oh. So yeah, I guess the creator time is as yet unbeaten. But I don't know if that's the time you actually register for your clear check, but we'll take your word for it. Okay, this thing here has been a limit of our progression so far. Luckily, it doesn't bounce us too far back. This is actually fairly recoverable, I think. Well, or some definition of fairly. Okay. And yeah, world record is 130. I was noting that because it was Matt Tor who had that at the beginning. Whoops. And it seemed like it would be the kind of thing he would try to grind out. Or at least be very fortunate with. Okay. And Electro Dude, welcome. Now, let's see here. Whoops. Not so much. Not so much. Let's restart. Well, we'll see how far we can get. If we only make it up to about the halfway point, Tempest Funk, this might be a good candidate for the next time I do an unfinished business stream. So we can grind away for a bit longer, but we're making decent progress. I feel like we can get a bit further than what we've seen so far. Okay, there we are. And no, do need to hang left pretty much right away when you do that. Nope, not quite. You do need to bounce right first, rather than get caught by that deflection. And yeah, I mean, it feels a lot more approachable than a lot of things in this style, simply because of the variety between obstacles, I think. I don't think I've solved just yet, so what to do with the note block because of my momentum getting cut by the curved tracks up above, but when we get back there, we'll try to base it down once again. Okay, up we go. Now let's not get impatient about the recovery. That's one of the issues that we're running into sometimes. Then I start scrambling a bit if I'm out of my intended position. Okay, here we are. And there we go. Not too troublesome here. Okay. Let's redo that bit. Let's redo this bit. And that. And that. There we go. Nice bounce on that, actually. And let's see what we can do now. Yep. Kind of a half-tile standing location. Going into that bounce, and that gives me plenty of headroom to get the curve that I want. Okay, just jumping a little to the left that time when we were approaching the bumper. Whoops. You know what? No, this is still almost recoverable. Let's restart now. I'll try to make at least one more good attempt to get up to the note block that was the limit of our progression so far. I think it is going to be clearable eventually. We're learning it piece by piece. Some of this stuff is already going much better. Fairly nice of that bump on the left side wall, actually, to just dump me in a safe location. Okay, here we are. And up we go. Nope, still too far to the left there. I was having a much easier time with it earlier, but maybe I was just being a bit more cautious. Nope. Now I'm being too cautious. We were still fairly early on in that clock, still over 400 seconds, but might as well just have a fresh start. Yeah, it's possible to feel quite well practiced at this once you go, which is always nice to see. Whoops. Spoke too soon. Up we go. It's okay. No, we'll just do it from the side. Why not? And Electrodude, thank you for whatever it is you've added this time. Key duality, interesting. Okay, hop, hop. Very satisfying bounce there when it doesn't disrupt anything. And so far, that's actually worked to my advantage so far. That trampoline down there, as long as you see it coming and plan accordingly. Okay. Here we are. Yeah, I want to anticipate this a little bit early so we're not tugged to the left, I think. I mean, we can follow the coin trail and just make sure we dash off the side. Right idea. That's progress. That's the right idea. And that's new material. And that's old material. Okay. Panic mode. Whoops. Let's try to take one more crack at that. And Furia, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I see there's that other pipe that drops in on the side over there as well. I think we can expect some kind of massive reset later on if we're not careful. Not that we'll see it today, but... I was wondering about the sound effects, actually, because it seemed like they did have a specific placement to them. I didn't know how common that was, though. Yeah, very satisfying just to have that as a random event, I guess, given that you have a fairly lengthy circuit here. That is, if you're saying there are 90 springs, that's taking up pretty much the entirety of your budget. Not much else we're interacting with here, actually. There's the clown car at the start, but a couple of bumpers to bump us. But otherwise, it's just a lot of different track setups with this evenly spaced cycle. Okay, that was actually correct. Okay, almost. I knew that was not going to make it, so I'm glad I fell accurately. Yeah, I just didn't plan out where I was going next after that. I think I just need to ride that out a bit before we hit the bumper on top. Okay. Back up we go. The clown car contraption takes up half the non-spring loop sprite budget. Yeah, and then you would have the bumpers that we're heading towards over here, and that would pretty much be the other half, as far as I can tell. I mean, notwithstanding anything we haven't seen yet, but that's a lot of that accounted for already. Yeah, because I guess you have the back and forth in a clown car. That's a few additional entities to get that moving. Okay, tried to land on a cloud, not quite. Yeah, I just haven't come up with a good plan for what to do when I get on top of the spring. I think I have a good timing now for getting on top of the jump block. But, well, occasionally there are issues, so. No, heading too far to the left here. I actually like that the clown car does stop if you haven't done a full reset. It looks like something broken at first, but it's actually a nice halfway safety net. You do manage to stay on top of all this for a bit longer. And yeah, I mean, you were telling me 90 springs, I would imagine you are at the total limit for the vertical world here. Whoops. Yeah, clown car is going to activate. Let's call it at this point Tempest Funk, but we will go back to this at some point. I do like the variety in the setups and just how neatly segmented a lot of this is in terms of the resets not throwing you back too far all at once. So, thank you for that. That's going to be a loss for now, but you're welcome to resubmit at some point, and we may bring it into a longer stream as well, just to have a more focused effort. We're not going to see anything here because everything's in the subworld. But yeah, congratulations to the 6 people who have cleared it so far. Oh yeah, the clear time 1:29, so you're just a little bit ahead of the record with the clear check anyway. And yeah, Tempest Funk, I'll let you know, and if you're not on, I'll also link the VOD. Now, what we were doing was sub next. Sub next is going to be Terminator. You fell once during the clear time, I see. And you did faster clear, the one with the minute that you were talking about, so. Yeah, I figured you probably weren't going to spend too much time trying to optimize the clear check for a level in that style. and given just how many resets you'd be inflicting on yourself. Terminator, we've done shell surfing. Do you want to replace that with something else? Yeah, stop me if you see something that you would want me to play. We've played a lot of this, as you can see. Warning, hot garbage. I don't know about that. Interesting garbage bin in the artwork there, though. Play the next shell surf. Let's look for that. So, we didn't do 5 and 6, and we didn't do 10. I suppose you'd probably want me to do 5 then, right? Or... yeah, I didn't clear 3, but I remember I had a really hard time with 3. We can do 5, maybe. Wait, 3, 4, though. Wow. Might be a bit rough, but we'll... if you have a particular recommendation, play 3. Okay, sure. It's been a while. We'll just relearn it. Yeah, I remember that after you sent me 3 last time, we just went on with the series. And never actually went back to it, but it must have been a few months ago at this point. And so it will be pretty fresh to me this time. Ah, yes, Cursed Key. That's what was going on here. Cursed Key and Angry Sun. Let's start over. I think that is salvageable if you lose the helmet. Maybe? No, I think usually you set these up such that I cannot take damage. Whoops. Like I said, I cannot take damage. Okay, let's not miss either. I mean, I guess we can just reload from checkpoint there, but let's see. Okay, Cursed Key is going to do its thing, as is Phanto. So yeah, you jump that, and then you land back on a shell. I'm just going to rehearse this part a bit in case we can progress. I would imagine that eventually there's a shellmet check of some sort. Then we jump up to the upper shell by reaching the 10 coin and falling on top of the upper shell. That's how you do it. First, we have to get the entry point right. And let's move. That actually works nicely with dodging a Phantos pattern. The Angry Sun, however, was not convenient there. But I see that because the shell is moving the whole time, of course, this level does not have an actual auto-scroll built in, so there is some player camera positioning. Player camera positioning is going to affect some things with the Angry Sun, probably, so it looks like we may need to jump as far as the sun is concerned. But we'll see if we can do that somehow. Yeah, because it looks like there can be a little bit of variance to the sun's positioning. Well, just depending on how far you go for that mecha jump. But you always have to land roughly in the same place. You do reorient yourself into the same shell location, which is totally controlled just due to the pacing of the shell itself. And so, yeah, the sun's going to die. I remember that, in fact. And I remember thinking that was neat. Whoops. Okay, that's going to be losing attempt, but and then we go up here, yeah. But we'll try not to get hit along the way on the next attempt. I remember I had gotten past all of that at least. Very distantly remember that. So yeah, let the sun hit. There we go. That's how you do it. You just stand and don't panic. Just know where your towel is. Now this jump up here, I don't really know about. I guess it's something to do with how Phanto is positioned. You also don't want to get whacked on the right side, of course, when the shell makes contact. I didn't know quite what to do with that position, though. So yeah, I guess the sun is going to be pretty consistently to align with that shell position so long as you land on a shell quickly enough, because then your camera position is going to be pretty consistent. Let's continue anyway, even though we did lose the helmet. Just want to see what we can learn about this. Need to fix up some of these jumps, obviously. And, yeah, B Minutes is very familiar with, well, intersections of science fiction literature and radio drama in all of its many mutually contradictory forms. Okay, let's jump up here. Let the sun hit. There we go. You played Arthur Dent in college. That's, somehow it doesn't surprise me. As in a stage adaptation, or doing a read-through to radio play, or what was it? The radio play and stage, yeah, that's what I thought. That would be something like that. It's sort of interesting when you return to the series in novel form, the trilogy of 5 as it wound up being, just how conspicuous it was that the first volume and the second half of the second volume were written as a radio drama. Like, it really jumped out at me the last time I read through them. And of course they did eventually go back to do radio adaptations of the later volumes as well, much later, but the classic series, as you well know, is just... you know, what was adapted into the first book and the second half of the second book. Also, and this is, of course, the stream content that you folks come here for, you will remember that at the end of the restaurant, at the end of the universe, Arthur Dent, having been trapped in the distant past, or what seems to be, builds himself a Scrabble board that relies on a somewhat inaccurate memory of the game, because it is a 13 by 13 board rather than the standard 15 by 15, and there are also 3 Ys in his set in order to spell the question, what do you get when you multiply 6 by 9? I have another anecdote about that, actually, which is that, so for the longest time, with that, what do you get if you multiply 6 by 9 thing that's at the end of Restaurant at the End of the Universe, it prompted a lot of people to ask Douglas Adams if he was making a joke in Base 13, because in Base 13, if you have the digits 6 and 9, they actually do give you the digits 4, 2 when you multiply them. And Douglas Adams said something to the effect of, I may be a very sad case, but even I don't make jokes in Base 13. But here's the thing I discovered many years later. Lewis Carroll actually does make a joke in Base 13. Not in Alice in Wonderland, but in one of the other sort of mathematical poems that he does. I had to dig up what it was specifically, but it was really funny to find that, just given the Douglas Adams connection much, much later. Okay, back to the shells. Let's see what we can do with this key here. And Furia, thank you for the lurk. Always welcome to do so, of course. Yeah, Phanto's positioning there is going to be a little rough sometimes, but we'll try to make something clean out of it. Whoops. Someone had actually just mentioned or alluded to Hitchhiker's Guide in one of my other streams last week too, I think. And it reminded me that there was recently a Kickstarter, I think, for some kind of archival volume. like a bit of a collector's volume from some of the surviving manuscript materials that are with Douglas Adams College in Cambridge. I believe he was with St. John's College, and that they hold a lot of Douglas Adams manuscript material in their library. And so somebody actually did make an exhibit book out of that, I believe. And that was fairly recent. I remember seeing that come up earlier this year. When hitting to switch, just stand on the left side of the shell. Yeah, I was wondering about that marker there, because I guess it's to hedge against Phanto's position coming in, because Phanto is quite a ways off at this point. And then, yeah, okay, so we didn't actually need to jump there, but I can see why you would encourage me to, depending on positioning. I'd probably duck under some of this. Oh, didn't realize that mid-air jump was coming. I did see the marker, I just didn't notice that we were about to get bumped up, so that was the reason for that error. And yeah, B-Minus, I haven't caught up on the more recent adaptations of Dirk Gently. I know there was a new BBC adaptation of it a few years ago, but not up to speed with it. And here we go. And yeah, Phanto's just going to zone me out here. That's not going to be helped. Yeah, I think there's just enough variance to how Phanto behaves that it does complicate the level quite a bit. But that's true of most concepts with the Cursed Key. You do have to have a pattern to them, or a room that you set them in that is more or less RNG proof. I think there's enough stuff here that is timing dependent that Phanto creates a lot of complication. Whereas the Angry Sun has this really neat predictable movement here that you take advantage of in pretty spectacular fashion. And there we go. Yeah, still ramming into that. That's okay, let's see how much further we get. Yeah, Phanto's going to be way out of position here, and it's going to cause problems. Yep. Didn't need to jump that, actually, but... down we go. Nope. Alright, let's do this. Now, okay, let's head on up. And we'll just try to repeat this a little more cleanly. Whoops, just slipped right off. Well, the early parts are going decently, at least. Didn't take me too long to clean up the beginning over here, in terms of relearning it. But we'll proceed a little bit further and see. Yeah, that jump takes practice, so I'm glad we got that in, even if we wind up hitting some kind of helmet check at the very end, which... possible. I see that that time to jump marker was actually behaving as intended in terms of encouraging you to dodge Phanto sweeping up. I do think it's a little bit of an issue, though, that a lot of Phanto's patterns are not really going to be that consistent, depending on some minor variations in positioning that can happen along the way. So we'll see if we have that behaving as intended that time. That actually was pretty close. I have this vague sense that we do, in fact, need the helmets to dodge something here. Or to deflect something that's about to come. Ah, yeah, that little bump there, followed by the key. Yeah, I think I distantly remember that that ending gave me a huge amount of trouble, because when the camera is also moving, it's very difficult to aim for that destination block. Because the shell is moving, you're moving with it, the camera is moving, everything is just a little bit difficult to spot there. So we'll see if we retain a shell mitt, which we don't. We'd be able to take a little bit of damage there, but okay, that went smoothly. And yeah, I was doing a bit of an adjustment jump because it felt like I was slipping off the shell at the very end. So that was almost it in terms of getting up to the key door. Okay, Sun is going to hit. And Zedbot, welcome. And I could also probably duck at the pokies, yeah. Whoops. I was thinking about that with the Podoboos later on, but I think you're right, that if you stand to the left, in fact, that should be fairly safe. That's okay, we'll just try to make it up there. I don't think that part was causing too much complication, though, despite just dying to it a moment ago. It's the last jump as we approach the key door that I feel like I'm not anywhere close to figuring out just yet. We just have to see it some more, and it's at the tail end of a fairly long sequence, so... Okay, this one is always a little bit troublesome. Got it for once. Good. And Thomas B., welcome. It's been a while, glad to see you back. Okay, doing well, doing well. Nope, just couldn't get back on the shell. Just too much going on there. I have the vague sense that I do need to keep the helmets. I don't know if I know that for a fact or if I had scouted ahead previously. But I know that sometimes Terminator's levels can be strict about keeping power-ups. It's always unfortunate when levels are ambiguous about whether keeping a power-up is required, though. I mean, sometimes it is implicit, but it can be pretty rough on a player to find out after you hit a major exit like a key door. So, we'll find out, but hopefully not the hard way. Because in general, when it comes to keeping power-ups, I think it should be self-explanatory whether it is in fact required. And some segments of the level do make it obvious, some other ones can make it look like you just have the helmet as a buffer to take an extra hit. Because we haven't actually used it so far, and we'll see if that becomes a requirement later on. Nope, that was a bad idea. And Thomas B., thank you for submitting Quick Platforming Fun 3. Okay. Sun's going to hit. And let's go up. Nope. Okay, let's ride this out, see if we make it very much further. Yeah, that positioning is rough. There's no safe landing that time. But I think taking damage and getting knocked off the shell also did throw off the camera patterning a little bit in terms of positioning Phanto, so a couple of things are going to create a bit of variance here that we do need to play around. First part is looking fairly consistent though, so let's try to get this jump. Bump on this side and jump on this side. And let's not slip too much. Okay, too much adjustment going on there. Yeah, I did think I was going to slip. Sometimes I don't make a very good estimate of that, though. I'm landing just a little off-center. If you're landing off-center and the shell is still moving, sometimes it's a bit tricky to make sure you're confident in your own position. And yeah, I know the contrail tells you where to land. It's just that because I'm moving left at the same time and watching moving target, it's actually a little bit difficult to hit the coin trail. Because I'm accounting for a bit of a change in my forward momentum already. Like, my forward momentum is already a bit different given that I'm doing the shell ride. Okay, that was a crisp landing. That's nice. And we get to claw over here. We've got lots left then. Okay. Sun is going to come down and hit once again, and kind of nice to have that repeat. And we're going to miss that jump. Even though it is the same thing, that's going to take us through to the finish. Hey, we're getting closer. Even if I did take that hit near the end. Yeah, I think what's throwing me off about the coin trail is that you have the P block marker immediately after, just spaced out by a few blocks. And I think the implication here is that you land by following the coin trail and then you have to jump again quickly, right? But the problem is that the P block marker at the very end looks like a target. And it looks like a target that is a little bit off what the coin trail is doing. So what's happening is that I'm often just landing a little bit in the middle because I'm kind of receiving both of those signals at once. And I think that's the issue that's going on when I'm reading it, because obviously when you're reacting to all this stuff fairly quickly, you are reading some of these symbols by impulse rather than technically planning around them, so... Okay, that was clean that time. Yeah, once again, really difficult jump there. I was aiming directly for the coin trail that time, but the problem is that it does require quite a bit of control to adjust around the fact that you are already going forward. Yeah, I think that jump is a pretty major roadblock. Nope. Yeah, and once you do slip, it's surprisingly difficult to get back onto the shell because you've been conditioned throughout the whole level to plan your jumps around shell speed. And when you're suddenly on the ground, you fall quite a ways behind. Much more than you would expect. Anyway, let's try to do this again, and like I said, I don't know if it is an absolute requirement to keep the shellment to the end. I'm just assuming that it is, but we might as well practice everything we can while we have the opportunity to do so. I am at least getting here fairly consistently, that I don't have too much trouble getting to this part that's inflicting damage on me. So. And yeah, when you land off the shell, as you were saying, your whole momentum changes, and it is a big adjustment. And that the whole time you're just scrolling with the camera, and it's fairly easy to plan. And then suddenly it's not. Okay, that's going better. We will of course have to do it again a second time when we come here again later and pass the whole on-off wall that is on the right side. Yeah, this is definitely one of the harder ones in the series, I think. And I think it's the only one in the series I've played that I have not been able to clear. But it also has a fairly Low clear rate, somewhere below 0.5, I think. So we'll see if we can make it happen. Just checking the list to see how many people we have waiting in case I do need to cut this a little early. We'll try to get as far as we can, though. And yeah, Terminator, I do remember the finale to the series, or at least... Oh yeah, so we did play the finale, it's just that I played an earlier version of it, I think, than the one that's now labeled as number 10, because I definitely remember the setup that you had for that. It was pretty spectacular. And I think you re-uploaded because of some cheese that I found, or some weird timing that I had some issues with. But no, I definitely remember that particular finale. And I remember this whole little bit with the angry sun dying, too. This was a very cool moment every time it happened. Just took me a while to adjust back to it, but it's a cute thing that you really don't see all the time in a level that actually gives the player control. Okay. Okay, let's just continue in case we are able to. And yeah, I like how you can board this segment here. In fact, this is... Whoops. Not too bad. So we can just jump right over to Mecha. We don't need to do the bounce because we're not doing quite as much dodging this time. Okay, here we are. And that's a bump. And that's a jump. And yeah, everything's going to drop out here after we return the second time in the off state. Now, if I can survive this cleanly, we'll be in very good shape. As you can see, still having a lot of trouble landing that. Okay, took a bit of adjustment there, but luckily that's a fairly relaxed boarding segment. Whoa, I did not expect to get bumped by the Goomba there. I think I was maybe just a little out of position. I was waiting for the sun to come in and bump me. I think I was standing off-center by enough that I accidentally bounced a Goomba, and that was causing complications. Yeah, it seems like a bit of a weird edge case scenario. Not something that happens all the time. And yeah, B minutes, I can definitely tell that the Duck Hunt dog is laughing at me from all the way over there. You know, if we actually did have a Duck Hunt sound effect in this game, that would have the dog pop up and laugh at you, that would just be such a troll-level staple. Let's maybe not give Nintendo any ideas. Yeah, I think I was just standing off-center and it was detected as a jump on that Goomba. Yeah, without that 10 coin positioning me there, I see that I'm going a little too far on the left with that jump. So that's another thing we'll have to fix. Especially because I've not actually made it to this segment, that last segment, successfully with the helmet yet. It's still something we have not achieved. But yeah, it is a bit of a weird arc to do that, hang to the right a bit and land on the shell. does take a little bit of practice. Yeah, it shouldn't have done the adjustment jump. We actually did get the landing, I just wasn't confident in the landing. Hence the jump there. Like how that jump marker before the Mecha Koopa is kind of doing double duty there, even if we're doing something different with that jump on this pass. Okay, Buzzies all die. Now, do we have a shell check? We don't know yet. We do have a couple of thwomps here to throw me off course, though, just as we seem to be reaching the end. Let's try it again. Getting closer, though. Not getting closer. Okay, up we go. Seemed like a longer jump than usual that time. Something felt slightly off about that, but we'll just get back into this and see if we can do this right. It might have been that I tugged the camera a bit to change the Mecha Koopa's spawning position, because if I hang right in just the wrong spot, you can actually spawn the Mecha Koopa slightly early, and that would make the jump a bit longer because it would be further along its track pattern, moving to the right side. It's not enough of an inconsistency to matter, thankfully, but it is a minor player-controlled variation to be aware of on my side. Nope, got whacked again. And B-Minutes, I have not tried the new Mario Golf. I've played some of the one on 3DS. I'd actually gotten it for free off Club Nintendo, I think. Back when Club Nintendo actually gave us good stuff. But I have not picked up the new one on Switch. So how is that working out for people? You let me know. I was a little wary of that because I remember there being that free demo weekend for Mario Tennis. Yes, you do require a shell. That's the ending. You need to retain a shell in order to survive those spikes. Okay. So now we know. So now we know that we should not bother if we've lost the shell. And that's important because I think I've rehearsed everything else well enough that if we survive the key door with the shell intact, I think I can do the rest just fine. Yeah, because I remember playing the free weekend for Mario Tennis and being underwhelmed with a few things about it, despite really loving the multiplayer demo that they had pre-release. And one of the things was that it didn't really quite live up to the promise of trying to do like a full-fledged game based on the motion control mode that would have been so popular back in Wii Sports. And I know that Mario Golf was kind of sold on that concept as well, that you know, you're going to have a motion control mode to bring back the glory days of Wii Golf. Not that I have room to swing my controllers around these days, but I actually really did enjoy a lot of Wii Sports back in its prime, and so it felt like the only game that really properly elaborated on it in terms of taking one of the Wii Sports activities and really turning it into a full-size game was actually ARMS, which I played a lot of back when it released. But yeah, I know this sort of standard control golfing in Mario Golf has traditionally been pretty strong as well. I remember that the 3DS had a lot of interesting weekly leaderboards, in fact. And Aegis Cook, although I think you pronounce it Aegis. Aegis Cook, welcome. Aegis Cook, after we close queue and finish the queue today, if we have time, I may pull something of yours in for various reasons that will become clear. You can queue too if you want right now, but we'll make adjustments accordingly. We do need to keep the shell. So yeah, Terminator, since we actually did make it to the ending without the shell and made a reasonable amount of progress, I may not spend too much longer in this. We will eventually get it, and you're welcome to resubmit, of course. Because we are making progress. But I really do need to make that key door with the shell first, and that may take an indefinite, an unknown number of attempts. So, Angus Cook, I will be closing this queue at about the 2-hour mark, and I will play the rest of the queue after that. And usually I go for at least another 2 hours past queue closing. Today it will depend. Because this is going to be a little bit of a 2-part stream. We're doing viewer levels, and then we will be doing, as time permits, a few selections by some of the makers that are imminently going to be featured in 5YMM Week 1, which releases in a couple of hours. So levels will be publicly available a little after I end the stream, but of course if you stay on my stream, you may in fact get a sneak peek at some of the level codes if you're grinding out first clear. We need to start over because we won't make it on this attempt. And Terminator, I will be running the 5YMM levels starting on Monday night. A lot of other streamers will be. I'm not an official host or anything. I'm just somebody who supports the project. So there will be a number of streamers playing it over the course of the week. If you want to get your hands on the levels first, though, the website is where the codes will be posted. And we lost a shell, so we do need to repeat. Let me check how long I've been on this one, Terminator, because we may pass on it in just a bit. I've been on this one for a little over half an hour, so we'll give it a few more attempts to see if we can make it past that key door with the shell. I need to land on the shell with conviction there and not die to an adjustment jump that takes me up to Fanto. If we can do it, I think I've got this level. It's not anything unexpected from that point on. And so yeah, we won't be doing the 5YMM levels in this sitting, but we will be showing off some of the makers involved if I have time at the end of the queue, which hopefully we will. And it will just be a short preview. It won't be a particularly long extension of the stream, but it's the same thing we did last year actually with 4YMM. We had a bit of a maker preview day every time before the uploads went up, just to get a sense of everybody's style and take a bit of a deeper look into their repertoire than what other streams would be doing. And I found that to be a really rewarding experience last year, so I was looking forward to doing that again. We are losing this every time. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it's a particularly well-conceived jump. I just think there's too much going on there with, you know, not having the room to adjust because you have to deal with Fanto. And also having to deal with so much in terms of momentum. That was unfortunate. We'll try to take one more good crack at it, Terminator, but then I will cut off at that point, and of course we will return to this with time to give it a proper clear, because we're fairly close. Just one major obstruction in the way. Yeah, we can get back here fairly consistently at least, which is nice. Phanto nearly sniped me over there, and his position here makes me worry a little bit. Yeah, no, that's not going to go. That's okay, Terminator will pass on this for the time being, and just move on for now, but... yeah, clear rate slightly below 0.5. I've been responsible for lowering it, of course. And after all this time, only 8 clears on it, which... well, congratulations to the people who have, in fact, managed it. We'll join that club eventually, but it is not this day. Friday Night Funkin', if you are still here, please check in. And thank you to the extreme patience of the people who have been waiting in queue. I know that we had kind of a series of long levels just now after some shorter ones at the start of the stream. I do not believe Friday Night Funkin' is still listed in the chat, so if they do not check in to correct me on that, we will be moving on to Antoduve next. If Antoduve is also able to check in. I think Antoduve is at least here in the chat, so we'll... yeah, and you are here, so we will pull you up next. And like I said, fairly lengthy queue today, so we will be closing before too long, probably in 1 or 2 levels or so. Sometime past the 2-hour mark on a stream. Also, I know we had some technical errors in the first 5 to 10 minutes or so. I hope those have settled down and that we haven't had any audio issues since. If we do, please do report them. But hey, it's not even a jump. This is a free level where you are testing things with a 2-second record. So, I guess you're serious about this being very, very short. Reach the goal without landing after leaving the ground, so... if it's not even a jump, what is it? Probably just a fall. Ah! And you kind of need to hit the axe on the edge, don't you? Or... I'm not sure. This is kind of a precision hitbox, isn't it? Where you need to kind of fall into it from the side of the cloud, maybe, without landing on the cloud. And Spirit Wolf, welcome. Spirit Wolf and that army of emotes that you like to bring with you. It's not even a jump. Let's crank it this way. No, too much. Yeah, so I want to nudge the clouds from the side before I hit the ground, but the thing is, it's a little bit difficult to see when that's coming just because we have about 3 blocks of warning. There is a tech for that, okay. Yeah, we'll try it for a bit first. I don't really know a lot of precision-related tech Antoduve, just so you know, so we'll try to get it. I did land safely that time, at least. It looks like this is the kind of thing that would be useful to know for, well, definitely precision, but possibly some things like trolls. It's a very specific kind of challenge, though, in terms of putting this by itself in its own little micro level here. Okay, we're backing off a little too much. We can probably get it with a bit of adjustment. I feel like I'm kind of trying to do a bit of a random roll, basically, until we actually hit that, but as you're saying, there is some kind of tech for it, and we just don't know it. I don't know how doable it is without knowing the tech for it, then. The fact that the title is telling me it's not even a jump seems to indicate to me that we should be doing some kind of free fall here, but... no. And yeah, we'll just roll that as we go. And Spirit Wolf, you were saying you bring a new one. I'm actually not sure if you mean a new level or a new emote, but if it is a new emote, we can welcome that to the crew. Art pro tip, hit the axe, not the cloud. Yeah, the parrot would, of course, know about a lot of incessant repetition. It's a 2 steps level. Okay, 2 steps. A 2 steps level. Do I know what that is? Like, do I know what you mean by that? Like, you take 2 steps and then you jump, or what? I don't play enough Precision to know some of the lingo, unfortunately, so you might need to explain that. It's a 2 action level. Okay, so you need to do some kind of positioning first, and then something to fall in accurately, maybe. And, yeah, I do know what a regrab is. But then, why would that affect this particular level? Like, I guess I don't know enough Precision to actually follow what it is you're trying to tell me here. Regrabbing makes you fall slower, okay. And then... I see, and then we try to just kind of float down like that, okay. Yeah, I see it. That's the second step. Yeah, see what's going on with the animation there. I think. Yeah, the Z button interactions are something I just never think about in SMP1 style for obvious reasons. So, as a little physics trick, that's not something I actually knew. And yeah, that's still coming pretty quickly. The first step is to hug the wall for maybe half a second and then hold right. Oh, okay, so you try to... Oh, hug the wall on the left side. Okay, I see. Almost. I mean, I can see that positionally, that looks okay. It's just time-wise, we didn't quite get it, so... Well, thank you for that, Antidu. I appreciated the lesson. And that's a win. After some struggling, that did not get me to this 1.92 world record. B-Minutes, you just got another hole-in-one. Well, that's not what we did in this precision level. So congratulations. Let me take a look at the list here, just to see how we're doing in terms of the current queue. Let me also check something quickly on the back end. Yeah, I think at this point we are just going to continue going down the next list for a bit, since Terminator is a repetition. No, we have a sub next, actually. We have Mr. Electrodude, who recently put in a sub, so Electrodude's going to be next. We're going to put Electrodude in, and then we'll look at the clear rate and the submission, and I will decide on queue position soon. So yeah, thank you, Antidu, for submitting that. Yeah, Precision is the one genre where I do appreciate some backseat guidance, because a lot of that stuff I will not figure out by myself. Here's a Key Duality by Save B. Very recent level from mid-July. Used a key to break the cursed layer before revealing the shine of it. Interesting. Okay, we'll play this one, and then I will likely close the queue around the end of this level, but then we will play everybody who is remaining after that. Actually, did I check if Electrodude even checked in? Let's see. I think he's here. But if not, we'll bump back one spot. Mr. Electrodude is always kind of hanging around here, so it's always a difficult thing to track. Let's see here. I may bump him back one spot and do Monokuma's next level first if we don't get a check-in quickly. Because I think he's lurking. That does happen sometimes, and he's on the list, so. Okay, without a check-in, Monokuma will check for you first and see if you are here. So, Monokuma, if you'd like to check in, we will look at your second submission of the day before we continue. Just going to give you a moment to respond here. Otherwise, we'll pull up B minutes. I see all of you people on the lurk list at least, so. Just want to make sure people are present when we start. Failing that, let's do a bit of queue management here on the back end. Yeah, B minutes, we will do you first, then. And then we'll do a second call for Monokuma and Electrodude, respectively. In some order. So this is where the Kaboom saga gets pretty hard. Yeah, you told me this is a 5-parter, and this is going to be part 4 after we lost the cannon box at the end of the previous section. How hard? Well, it is an 8-minute record by Rednai. And about 2% on this. Enter Kaboom Castle and take back the Kaboom power that was taken from you. Let's do it. Okay, bomb is going to go back and forth. I lost my Kaboom power, and yeah, that's the lore. Interestingly enough... nope, bad idea. We shouldn't do that. That is actually a failure condition. I should have looked at the POW chain and thought about that before I tried it. Oh, you actually do have to do that. But if you do that, you need to enter pipe before the chain. And so the idea is that you need the bomb to activate the POW. Okay, not quite. You need slightly better timing on that. So pretty much need to enter the pipe right before the detonation of the POW underneath you, I think, because that's the tightest timing that you're actually able to get. And okay, a little bit too late. And yeah, no worries, Electrodude. I thought you were probably lurking or AFK. You will be next if you are here and not asleep or something. Most people waste so much time throwing the bomb in a pipe. No, I mean, it's going to be obstructed for sure, so no way. Let's not let this guy wander off, though. Nope. Like I said, throwing the bomb in a pipe. Okay, here we are. No, still too late with the pipe entry. The bomb placement isn't going to matter, even if it is one tile off. I think we're still working with the same kind of detonation timing, so... We actually just need to listen to the bomb, and we need to go when the bomb detonates. And yeah, no worries, Electro Dude. We know you're not a dine and dasher. Very nice. I like how that timing is synchronized, actually. You have to be a very good guesser with the bomb, but it does work. Okay, so here we need something to break the blocks on the right side. We also have access to a P as well as a POW that can be remotely activated. For example, if we have something to hit POW from over here. POW should activate the P-switch, I think. But let's spawn something first. This will likely be a bomb, I think. And then we hot potato this thing over. No, we needed to toss it in such a way that gets me the P-switch because of the key. So I need to get the bomb over here, and I need to drop it over on this side, I think. That's okay, we blew that open at least, so... Need to be a little bit faster about this. And as you can see, just got a little bit trapped in that ledge there, which allows you to enter the pipe in the first place, so... Let's go back. Nope. Bad idea. Let's start over. Okay, bomb down. And I missed. A little too far to the left. The cutest Mario enemy, yeah. Anybody who played Origami King, of course, is quite familiar with pressing F to pay respects. Now let's see here. I don't know about the cutest Mario enemy. Porcu Puffers are kind of nice in their own way, but... Actually, no. The cutest Mario enemy, that title was taken in NSMBU by the Flipperus. I think the Flipperus has claimed that title. And I don't think there's much of a contest anymore, so... I don't know if the Flipperus really qualifies as an enemy, like it doesn't really kill you as such, it's more like the dolphins in Super Mario World that are kind of in your way, but kind of helpful. But I think it's very hard to beat the Flipperus at this point. B-Minutes, did you either not play NSMBU or just not remember it? It's the bonus level that's the snow level that has those little pink walrus guys. They only ever appear in that level, and I think in the New Super Luigi U equivalent. They're new to that game. No, missed. It's okay, we can retry. Yeah, the walrus thing, exactly. I only know it's called the Flipperus because it's in the title of the level. I think it's just called like Flipperus Lake or something like that. Okay, there we go. You think the bomb is cuter than that? Well, it depends on a bomb variation, perhaps. On switch is going to be hit by the bullet, so we let the bullet fire and then we go. And then we do what? We need the next bullet to fire now. And then we need this one to fire, but like that. Now we needed to guide the bomb all the way over. So, wow, Zero Planes bringing the magic today. Let's give you a big, big shout out for your party of 188. So, Zero Planes, thank you for bringing so many people along that would have bled over from Razefire earlier on, and thank you for all the new follows. Glad you folks got in, because we actually are going to be closing queue fairly soon, probably after this level. And because we have a bit of a double feature going on here today. But yeah, welcome everybody coming in. And okay, going to hot potato this over, that should be fine. And then the POW chain should give me the key. Excellent. So yeah, Zero Planes, I mean, I guess you must have had a very lively stream yourself, just given the crew you're bringing in with you and the mega raid that you must have received on your own right. And thank you so much for the resub. Okay, so we have the bomb here. I feel like hitting the bomb like that is not actually going to do the trick for me with the POW. I think the down arrow here might be relevant to something, but we'll have to find out what. I think we need to trap multiple bombs and then probably just stack them up. And no, hang on. Let's see here. No, we actually need to stand here because of the bullet blaster up top. That's what it is. Yes, that's what it is. You need to ignite the bomb in the central location. I see it. And I need to ignite the bomb without getting whacked, which I will. And yes, B-Minutes, the guy did in fact say kaboom when you subbed. It was extremely appropriate to this level. And Mr. X guy, if you want to give me a blue heart level, well, the queue is still open for a little bit at least. I will be closing fairly soon, but we will try to play the queue to the end as we almost always do, and we'll see if that blue heart is actually earned. And yeah, so B-Minutes, I think it was a very fortuitous match of alert and level there that we certainly don't see every day. Whoops. Yeah, Zero Planes, there's a series of these that you may have seen bits and pieces of from B-Minutes before. We are currently on part 4 out of 5 of Kaboom Castle. And this one has this giant 8-minute record on it, so we may be on it for a bit, but we'll see if we can do everything with the hot potato over here. And nope, didn't want to hit that twice. If you remade this level, you would want to make the fireball not kill you. Yeah, I was afraid it would, just given that I have a very limited position to stand in if I want to time the bomb accurately in that central segment, but we'll see. We'll be back there soon enough. Okay, bullet over here. And then this slightly time-sensitive jump over here. Now we just tap the bomb all the way over. Oh, I see. The bullet bill at the bottom is still messing around with my on-off pattern. That's why I was having some issues earlier. Okay, let's let the bomb walk back, and then we want to have it walk left to right, because then it will deflect like that. I don't want to stand all the way over. I can see where the fire is shooting now. I should be able to avoid that if I stand sort of to the left side of that arrow. And still be within range of activating the bullet blaster. And Mr. X to Guy, yeah, we'll see what happens when little Timmy takes over. And yeah, we're very familiar, I'm sure, with how considerate Mice Run Fast can be about that sort of thing. Oh, I completely missed with the bomb on the right side earlier, or I just didn't do it. One of the two. I think I just missed. Anyway, it didn't blow up the right side, so let's make sure that gets done. Next puzzle after the big bomb is the hardest part, okay. And what? Oh, that's interesting, yeah. Nice little fake out there. First time we'd actually seen it since I didn't really have trouble with any of this stuff here. Nice little safety net. Definitely didn't notice it as we were going over, so. I do need to high jump there. I had been doing it with the high jump every time, and I thought I could get away with not doing it, and clearly that was not the case. Nope. And yeah, Mice Run Fast, I'm sure you're very discerning about making sure your submissions are thematically appropriate to whether or not it's garbage day, or if it's merely recycling day. Okay, let's do this again. Let's pay attention. I had no trouble with this room until this attempt just now, so let's clean up some of that and send some bombs over. Nope. Let's not do that. Okay, that's going to be fine. And that, we want the on states, and then we stand carefully. Like that. And then we send that over. That's going to activate everything here, and that's going to give me a bullet in the face. Yeah, Mice Run Fast, that's a massive rule sheet that I put together last year, but it's really quite simple. I've actually become much more tolerant of things like Kaizo submissions over time as I've learned how to play them. Now the hard part. B minutes, I see that that was the hard part, yes. That was very evident to me right off the start. Okay, here we go. Now, let's do this part again. Let's not forget about the bomb on the right side this time. Yeah. B minutes, I think that would be the case. Glitch does that to me rather often as well, I think. Or rather, I do that to myself on a glitch level. Let's take some responsibility for that from time to time. And thank you so much for the follow. And let's tap away in. Oh, Glitch did the same thing. I see, okay. Alright, let's reset this a few times first. Let's reset this a few times first. Now here we just time everything accurately. Well, at least I made a statement of intent. That's what matters. Alright, this is going to hit. I am overcompensating for it now. It's okay. I shouldn't have too much trouble as long as I don't get a bullet in the face. And you're telling me there's a tricky part coming up next, which, well, we'll see how bad it could possibly be. Whether it's mostly an execution issue or something else entirely. Okay, that was done fairly cleanly. Even took out the bullet on the bottom. Yeah, pretty manageable so far, I think. And Kavik, welcome. Kavik, our fearless leader, who will, of course, recognize this blaster setup with the on-off switch that we actually just saw, with everything there being lowered. Let's wait for this to come around. And one more. And yes, indeed, pretty exciting times. So, for those not already apprised of this situation, we have 5YMM launching very imminently in just a couple hours. And Kavik, who just came by in the chat and is also the project lead of the Years of Mario Maker series, will have something coming in this theme, in fact, in 3D World and Castle. More than that, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to tell you too much, but you've got a lot to look forward to. This looks like a... Is this a reset door? Or oh, no, it's a door that's probably matched with that location down there. Probably I need to grab the bomb and then throw the bomb. Why would I? What is this? No, it's matched to this location. I can throw a bomb if I want. Yes, I see. I need to have a bomb ignition that happens while I'm in that area. And the way to do that is to probably... No, that's a reset door where if I fail and I get trapped in the bottom, I come back out to the top. So, yeah, if I get trapped here, I come back out. We go back up top. So what I'll do is I'll try to do the on-off pattern such that a bomb goes... No, not a bomb, but I need the bombs to set off the on-off switches in a particular pattern such that I can go through the center and then go through again. So what we want to do is we want to ignite 2 bombs. And I'm not going to do it with all those bombs stacked there, obviously. I need to grab like a bomb number 1. And then, no, maybe not. There's a whole pipe over here. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we hit this. We have to go down, and then we need 2 bomb activations, or we do a bomb activation plus the bullet activation, maybe. Then the bullet, we would need to spawn like this. We'd need to go down, and then the bomb needs to ignite right after that. No, this needs to be the starting state. And then if you have the bullet, fire. Whoops, if you have the bullet, fire. Bullet, come on, come on. Then you go down. Let's check this timing first. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's either chaining 2 bomb interactions or chaining a bomb plus the bullet blaster, where I can use one of the detonations for my entry point, probably the bullet blaster given the timing, and then the bomb is my second entry point. I think that I may actually be able to do a toss where... no, that's not going to work. Let's think about this here. Both of those ideas will work, yeah. Well, we basically need a series of 2 interactions. It's just that I need to make sure we have the appropriate timing. So let's say we set the bomb. We get in here. And then we need to get in just a little bit faster, and that'll work. Yeah, I was slightly overcomplicating things, actually. There we go. 100 seconds left here. And here's a bonsai who's going to destroy everything. But it's all going to be safe, so that's fine. Now we have even more. And then we send that down. Great. Okay, that track block worries me slightly. No, that's fine. We just take it across and then we take this all the way to the cannon box, which is going to be another checkpoint. Yeah, B-minutes, I mean, there's going to be a mix depending on what kind of players you're dealing with, whether it's more of the puzzle stuff that sticks them, or if it's more of the execution. I find that if you understand what you're supposed to do, the execution is actually not very tight in this level, which is nice, because it means that you can just do it in your head and get results. Nope, forgot to do that block at the very end, because of course we were not watching the camera bob on the airship, which is always a massive problem. Every time we play with an airship, in fact. We don't know what's going on with the P-door just yet, but I assume that if I fire to the left over here and hit that block, that's going to do something interesting. And 17 seconds here, yeah, I know. We'll likely have to hit that. And then I still need an additional key, which is from that other pipe. We will time out here, but that's okay. Oh, I see. No, P-door is going to go there, and then we fire on the left side after the P-switch expires, and then we get the key door, then we end up on the red pipe. And yeah, B-minutes, I think that's how people feel about the airship theme in pretty much every style. That's it. In every style, the aesthetics are great. It's just the camera bomb is just this massive annoyance that nobody can design around. Okay. So yeah, we need 2 keys. We do it by doing the P. We go through the P-door next time, which is the thing I was not reading properly because we were kind of out of time. Oh, let's do this. And over here, we wait for the P-switch to expire. Yeah, we do need to do that. And we fire to the left, and that should get me a key, which will then allow me to go through this key door to the red pipe. Here we are. Contest idea, mice run fast to do something with the camera bomb. Is that what you're suggesting? Or it's actually not a bad idea if you can actually incentivize people to learn how to deal with it. Okay, this is just a preview pipe that lets you see the P-switch. It lets you see the P-switch because the P-switch is going to unlock the top left, and then we have a lot to deal with up top. I'm just reading the top layer right now to see what it is we're doing. Let's fire. And then this whole thing here, yeah, we need to fire in this side and then exit this way. Now we can't go through here yet, so we actually need to fire 2 shots. No, we need to fire this in a slightly different pattern, like that. Okay, and then we go back. And Lecter, welcome. Lecter, for those of you who don't know, is not only the art lead on the visual identity of 5YMM, but is also the creator of our wonderful GG emote that we have on this stream. Okay, let's see if I can actually punch that in while I'm playing the level with my other hand. Okay, fire this. Yeah, that GG emote right there that you can get if you are like Khabib Minutes and have just joined the Kaboom Club. Warp block. I don't know why I was looking for a door here, but that works. And then we move the track block. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Except it's going to expire. So we stop it. Yeah, we need a better timing on the beat block up top, I think. Actually, no, we just fire this right away, and then that moves like that. And then, yeah, and then we need to send it across the top, obviously. Okay, let's try this again. Move that past. Not with that timing, we don't. Just need to take 2 shots here in quick succession. Quick succession. Yeah, we originally had a better pattern for this, I think. We should rethink this a bit. Yeah, because I shot that first. Then we release. And then that's the key. Yeah, that's right. Just needed to recover what it was I was doing in the first place. Okay, so we have the flagpole right there. That will require me to fire this first. Now, what's going on with this reset here? Ah, you actually do need to hit an on-off switch in order to release that. That's fine, we know how to do that. But we want to do it like that. And that will get me to the top of the flagpole and out, so... So, thank you for that, B-Minutes. It's kind of nice to see that we still have a lot of variation in some of these ideas, even if I was off the record for about 4 minutes. And yeah, mice run fast. If people can actually design around a camera bob at some point, and if they need a contest to incentivize that, that might lead to some interesting results. It will also lead to disaster, but that's okay, because if it gets interesting results, that will just make us forget about the rest. We're going to mark that as a win, and then we're going to do a sub next for Electrodude's level, and then we are going to close the queue. So as I type in Electrodude's code, that's going to be last call. And then we'll get through the rest of the queue, and then, if time permits, we're going to do our 5YMM Maker preview, where we play some of the older levels by some of the people you can expect to see. So Electrodude will punch in your code, and then it will be closure. Okay, Key Duality by Save B, which is a suggested level that was sent along by Electrodude from a few weeks ago. We'll use the key to break the cursed layer before revealing the shine of it. So something to do with Phanto and the cursed key. And the queue is now officially closed. So we just punch that in. And we will just update my stream title and the bot display and other things to make sure that all lines up. And then we'll play this. And Green Hero seems to be very excited for a Save B level. Okay, Key Duology. We'll see at some point what we do with those double doors that are at the end of the blue pipe. For now, though, That looks like a side thwomp that's likely going to chase on this side. Yeah, thought so. And, oh, whoops. Need to account for the fact that we don't get dragged by the track block, of course. Sometimes having it placed on a track like that does... snake block, rather. Sometimes having it placed on a track like that does throw me off slightly. This was for the last monthly contest. Electrodude, do let me know what that contest was thematically. Like whether any of the requirements this time were particularly interesting. And yeah, Electrodude sends me pretty interesting stuff from other people who participate in the same contests. Yeah, we'd need to get on top of that Goomba and then over to the right side. Back and forth without the use of spawn blocking. Okay, I see. Hence the bit with the pipes we see early on. Without the use of spawn blocking, I mean, we're not really seeing anything get destroyed along the way anyway, so that seems to fit the description so far. We'll do that slide a little bit better on further attempts. That could have gone much better. As could that. Okay, let's go up. And over here. And over here. And then I think maybe that's not the best idea. No, we do need the Goomba in that position. It's just that I'm a little bit slow in those jumps, I think, so try to fix that up. Come on, let's go. Yeah, that's actually pretty generous spacing, in fact. Now we come up here, and that's where the back and forth is coming from, that you redo the layout from right to left, but this time you have to dodge Phanto while you're at it. Now, I saw the one-way panel here. I guess that's because, yeah, the one-way panel just reaches the first door, and this door is just paired to head up the blue pipe. Okay, good. Should be fairly obvious, but it is possible to just misread that one-way panel if you're not paying attention. But I think the flow of this level is very clear at this point. That we'll be thinking about how to come back with all of these setups that we see so far when they respawn in. Come on. Yeah, touching the thwomp a little bit too close. If I fix that first jump, we can give ourselves a little bit more space to get ahead. Okay. There we go. And down. Okay. Let's go here. And duck. Great, everything's fine, except for Phanto making this part a little bit trickier because we no longer dance around the icicles all day long. And then, do we need to make it over to Muncher? Yes, we do. I thought something like that was likely to happen, but navigationally, I think everything has been sorted out. We would land here after the Muncher, that we dodge the thwomp that is going to try to snipe us a second time. And then that's pretty much all we need to do to get over to the pipe, so... Okay. Now, let's come up here. And die once again. I forgot to acknowledge this earlier, but mice run fast. That is a very impressive collection of cats. And I can now see why the mice run fast. We're running away from all that. And it's alright, Mr. Extra Guy. We don't mind some quiet lulls every now and then. In certain time zones, this is kind of intentionally a bit of a sleepy stream. For people to just finish the day or begin a day with some Mario Maker, so... Alright, let's see here. Yeah, that's Phanto, alright. Let's come over here. Nope, not nearly enough momentum. And yeah, Rammers, good to see you here as well. Lurking is perfectly fine. And okay, here we are. No, that icicle does nothing. We know that from experience. Okay, let's maybe not miss next time. Lost a little bit of momentum going up towards that platform from right to left, and so we have a few things to sort out here. Whoops. Okay, let's do this. That's going to be fine as long as we don't get whacked by Phanto. We'll have to time this around the icicle drops, of course. Let's wait for the next icicle just to minimize complications. Let Phanto wrap around a little bit more, and so we have the mask on the right side. Yeah, a lot of this is positioning in some ways, where we just try to avoid an orientation relative to Phanto that would get you trapped. So if you're patient, you can strategize around this quite a bit. And hit a checkpoint over here, which is going to show you the next back and forth segment. So we're going to fall down here and miss. Also, hammers incoming. That's going to be something we have to deal with in both directions. That's wrong. We want to take the snake block. And then we want to drop down to the lower platform, because otherwise we will not be able to get under those icicles while the snake block is active. However... Oh, I don't know about that, actually. Yeah, no, we do need the snake block to go over, obviously. And then the platforms will respawn by the time we come back, so we only take the falling platforms on our return trip. Yeah, I do need to get ahead of the snake block slightly in order to go around the icicles. I was just hedging on that a little too much, so... Okay, that's going to be relatively clean. That's a little too soon. It's by a tiny margin. Probably was salvageable if we didn't run right into the icicles there, but... we'll make some of those fixes as we go. No, too late here. However, you can jump up, and one of those patterns will work with a bit of adjustment in either direction. Either you take the snake block at the last minute, or you get on the snake block early but precisely. Not that early. Yeah, but pretty much as soon as the snake block takes the bend and assumes that J shape at the very end, we'll need to fall down immediately and just stall a bit on the left side while it comes back up to give us something to land on. Yeah. With slightly better timing, I think that is doable that way, but we'll see if that actually turns out to be the case when we get back there. One nice little touch here is that the blue pipes actually match the color scheme quite well, given that you're working with both the blue snake blocks as well as the falling blue platforms and the icicles everywhere. It does kind of complete this aesthetically. Just have that pipe color. Always the little things that make a level complete. Nope, that's wrong. If I do fall on that first platform, I am able to safely jump back up to the right, and then go back up to the snake block again. The other thing I haven't considered is activating the snake block and then coming back down to do this. Nope, that's not going to work. It does give me a little bit more room to wrap around the snake block, though. So maybe we can get something out of that method. I don't think it's particularly good, but here we go. Something like that will work. Nope. Once again, have to compensate for the fact that the snake block does not exert any drag. We know that very well, of course, but sometimes when it comes to reacting on short notice, that can be just a little bit trickier. Okay, we'll just ram into some of this stuff a few times. And yeah, the hammer isn't really that threatening if you're careful. Whoops. I should probably have stuck to that method we just decided on. So over here. Yeah, that's plenty of room. I like that a lot better, in fact. Okay, down we go. And we still need to do this in the other direction as well. A little bit too late. Went a bit high on that jump at the very end and didn't land nearly well enough out of it. There we go. Now let's watch our head with this icicle here. I feel like, given the way I scrolled in that time, that the timing of the two stretch boos that were attached to those blocks was not quite as good as before. In that they were spawning with a pattern that was much too close to each other instead of properly alternating. And it would be entirely because of how quickly I'm scrolling that in. So that's kind of a mild inconsistency that is a bit difficult to play around if the spawning position is not great. As you can see, it's when they're within that 3-tile range off camera, so that is assuming that you're just going to go forward very gracefully when you reach the bit with the hammer. Because if you don't do it so gracefully, you do run into some issues. Okay. Yeah, let's remember our previous method. Like I said, it seemed to do fairly well for us, and so we'll just try to do that a few times until we get it working. And okay, that's fine that time. And then, now, we take that platform to the left and grab a normal key. Followed by... oh, okay. We have a couple of opportunities at the Goombas now. Falling icicle here. So let's take this. And whack the Muncher. I can jump and be in the air longer than the Boo hitbox is active, yeah. That's an interesting point. I did feel like I got a much better alternating pattern the first time I ran into that segment, though. A little bit early there. Yeah, no, I see what you mean, that you can just jump on the same block to outlast the Boos, instead of trying to rush through it. But we'll rush through it. Yeah, very glad that this is not a Phanto key this time. I think that would just complicate things excessively. Alright, let's not die to the easy stuff. Like I said. Okay, let's head down. And take the first Goomba. And not die on this guy here. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the timing there, unfortunately. I did have enough of a window of opportunity to time myself around that landing, but we'll need to go back and sort that out. And, oh yeah, didn't follow my usual method. That's okay, we'll go back and fix that up. Okay. Boos go up, Boos go down. Here's the key. Very satisfying jump off that Goomba, actually. The headroom and the spacing work out quite nicely. Okay, I was trying to rush that, and that did not go at all as I had hoped. Not even close, in fact. Yeah, no, let's go right and left as before. We could be doing a lot better with little things like this. Okay, here we are. Let's wait for the second Goomba here, just to take a bit of a breather as we prepare to finally, hopefully, sort out this segment. Nope, I knew that timing was not going to go. You have to watch a few things at once because of the way the snake block does pull you to the left. There should be enough time there to make an adjustment regardless of which cycle the Boo is on, but we need to pay a little more attention to that. It is a bit of an attention check where you have to read ahead in the level. And let's come back here. Let the booze go up and back down. Okay, what have we got over here? Grab that. And back. Up. We go. That might have been safe, actually. I don't know why I was hedging on that. I could have landed on that, but we need to stall a little bit better, I think. Or maybe just use that regrab trick we learned from that precision level earlier today. Bit more of an advanced thing than what I would normally use in a level like this, where the platforming is honestly pretty spacious and fair. Anyway, let's go up. Yeah, still having trouble timing myself around it. I'm just watching that and we just don't have the right cycle. It could be that I'm going too slow, actually. That if I'm going just a little bit faster, we will catch that. And catch it courageously. But there isn't that much of a stable position there for me to watch my timing and adjust. We are going to be pretty much constantly in motion here. Nope. I was trying to fall back on a jump and go back to the left and changed my mind a little bit too late. Too much hesitation there still. But hey, at least we got a landing. That's definitely progress. And definitely the biggest roadblock that we've seen so far, so should be able to get that soon enough. Yeah, not the right cycle there. Yeah, that landing is quite tough to map out. Whoops. Forgot what I was doing for a minute, once again. We can do better than that. Okay. Booze go up. Booze go down. Booze go up. Nope, that timing is not going to work. Jumping too early to stay on one block. Yeah, they're fairly close to each other once again this time, as you can see, but we'll make it. First time I hit that guy. You found rushing there to be easiest. I'm thinking that's probably the case, yeah. It could be that I'm overcompensating for the fact that earlier I was hitting that muncher as I was making my way back through the snake blocks, and that, because of that, I started slowing down so I could get a cleaner jump off the top. But now, I'm a little too dependent on the boo timing in that segment in a way that's not working out for me at all. So we'll see if we can make that work somehow. Okay. Look at that lovely alternation this time. That's working a lot better. After a little while, they're going to desync a little bit, of course, but it was fun while it lasted. There we go. Yeah, rushing down worked just fine. Now we have to beware of the hammer. That's the next thing. He's going to toss over me, and that's fine. Then we just take this back. That was unkind. Kavik, what I'm going to do after I get through the viewer queue today is I'm going to play some of the older levels by some of the new makers that have been introduced to this year's set. And we'll just show some of that off to show people what kind of makers are coming. I will, of course, not be playing the uploads myself, given that the official launch is still a few hours off. Kavik, speaking of which, are you doing the official launch stream later today, as you usually do? Because I don't know if you had your setup put together for that yet, with all of the work going on. Yeah, I figured that with all the renovation going on and everything else, that maybe you were not doing the debut stream. But yeah, hopefully on day one we'll get some good shows going in terms of big streamers coming in. It is a very well-placed block. I feel like even if I know that it is there, I'm going to have issues with it. Because this level doesn't really do anything to signify that it's going to pull that kind of trick on you, right? It's just behaving so innocently. Yeah, I see that the faster I get off that snake block, the easier I can fall onto the left side column instead of jumping towards it, and that would allow me to go a bit faster. Okay, whoops. Alright, down we go. And here we go. That's the key. And Mr. X the guy, yeah, no worries about having to leave. I guess we'll have to play your blue heart level some other time. But thank you for coming by anyway. Nope. Didn't really want to jump there. I was trying to fall towards that, and I think I just made the wrong decision at the last moment. So yeah, like I was saying, currently we intend my run through the 5YMM levels to be on the Monday night in NA and Tuesday morning in Europe stream. We'll see if that changes. I know it's a bit of a difficult time for people to make, but it's in my usual puzzle or maker feature slot, and it's probably the best time for me to be doing it, so. And of course, we'll always have the VODs available for anybody who wants to catch that on delay. Imagine all the people who just make the jump with that arc there totally innocently and never even know what it is they missed. Okay, we have one more key door for some kind of secret. That's interesting. Hard mode? Let's see if it is hard mode. Secret ending? No, 38. Ah, contest 38. If my understanding is correct. Electrodude. And of course, we're totally going to miss the top of the flagpole, but that's a GG. There is a secret. Okay, well, we didn't catch it. Might have to comb over that again at some other point then. Yeah, because we see the 38 room, I guess it wouldn't be anything in the main world, but in the subworld we could have missed something. Probably if you were able to go up the Goomba pipe, maybe. But then, if you go up the Goomba pipe, how do you get back out? So maybe that's not it. Anyway. Oh, Contest 38 was the secret. Okay, yeah. No, I mean, we saw it, so there we go. Okay, this is going to be second call for Monokuma. If Monokuma is still around, I don't know if they are. And now, of course, the list of people lurking in my chat is significantly longer thanks to that incredibly generous raid from Zero Planes that came in earlier. Monokuma is here. Great. And thank you for sticking around so long, Monokuma. You've been here since the very beginning of this session. And yeah, we'd be happy to just continue the Punch-Out fights with the major circuit, if that's the idea. I feel like that's the natural place to go before we do anything else. So let's just do it. Anyway, here's the major circuit. We'll get comments on for this one so we can see everybody's win-loss record and height and weight and all that other good stuff. Major circuit. Piston Honda. Let's see Piston Honda's record here. 26-1. 6'2", 174 pounds. 28 from Tokyo, Japan. Just doing the whole profile screen there. Piston Honda is going to get a bit of a jump on us and also fire projectiles that shouldn't be able to hit us, I don't think. But we're going to get a little bit spaced out here. I think the projectiles should probably be fine. That's given Morton's positioning, we're not under threat. And we just need to play this like one of the fights before, where we're mostly just worrying about the fiery punches coming in from left and right. Okay. Nope. Need to watch our position there. Yeah, a lot of things to watch here. We'll just alternate directions and look for an opportunity to strike without getting too confused about the bounce direction. Very easy to get confused with bounce direction just with all the movement that's going on. But that's why it's the major circuit. Nope, still missing a bit. Yeah, sometimes you don't really get a clean opportunity to hit despite the 2-tile width of the wigglers in the base. And we'll just try to... Okay, the stun lock is going to be a massive problem if we are not careful. We really need to watch the Morton stun lock, even though the fire from Morton's stomp isn't going to do anything to us. Projectiles don't seem like they should be legal in boxing. Well, I mean, it is Punch-Out. A lot of things don't seem like they should be illegal elsewhere. But, yeah, I mean, you know, if boxing kind of worked by the same logic as pro wrestling in terms of how professionalization was adding some flavor to the sport, you could see a lot of this becoming fair game, at least in a video game contest. Only thing we're missing at this point is Mike Tyson, like in the original game, back when the license was still active for that. He'd certainly give you an earful. Okay. So for anybody who's really into academic analytic philosophy, there's a really good story about Mike Tyson. That may seem like a bit of a bizarre prompt, but it is in fact true. So if you've ever done any study in analytic philosophy and formal logic, you might know of the English philosopher A.J. Ayer, who once famously well, by philosophy standards, had a run-in with Mike Tyson at some kind of event for some reason where they were both famous enough in their respective fields. And Mike Tyson was, I think, being rather intrusive towards a young and relatively unknown model at the time who was Naomi Campbell. And the philosopher A.J. Ayer was in a room and actually confronted Mike Tyson and told him off and told him not to be harassing her. And then Mike Tyson, you know, he does this rather arrogant thing of, you know, telling him, "Do you know who I am? I'm the boxing champion of such and such. Like, I'm the heavyweight title holder." And A.J. Ayer just kind of looks him in the face and says, "And I am a distinguished professor of philosophy. I suggest we talk this out like gentlemen." And that is the one and only story I know about philosophy and boxing. You can look it up. It's actually quite well documented. I think it happened probably around 1990 or so. Anyway, I don't think projectiles were legal there either. Did he punch him in the end? Well, did who punch who? I mean, that's a very good question. I think that was a cliffhanger. Okay, let's take a look at the stats for Bear Hugger, who has a record of 17-12. 6'3", 440 pounds, and is from Salmon Arm, BC in Canada, so. And looks a lot like Wendy. But we won't put too much thought into that. Also has these massive Podobu punches that you can see represent some significantly bulkier arms. Well, this is still easier to understand than the Punch-Out tribute in The Wonderful 101, so, which I replayed not that long ago. Okay, let's move the Boom Boom headpiece, I guess, over here, just to catch him before he hops everywhere. Luckily, the track speed here is fairly slow, so we don't have to deal with too much here. Okay, there we go. And that's 2 punches. And there we go. How are we doing for time? 116, so we might run into some timeout issues if we don't hurry this up. But Great Tiger and his record of 26.5 of 5'11", 132 pounds from Mumbai, India. Which, of course, at the time of the classic Punch-Out series would not yet have been referred to as Mumbai. Because I think that official renaming came much later. But of course, this was the era of Punch-Out Wii, so I think it's not too much of an anachronism. Nope. Have to wait for the bounce here. Do have to manipulate the mold position to get this going where I want. But the bump is going to limit my opportunity to hit this, which is a bit of an issue when we are running into some timer trouble. There we go. Okay. Nope, we're going to get sniped, and oh, we've got a lot of ground to recover, so. I see, it is a 300-second start, so I was not actually as desperate for time as I thought I was, perhaps, just because I was wondering where all the time was going, and it turns out that, well, I mean, we were stopping to read all of the captions, of course. And I did have a bit of trouble hitting with one of the earlier fights as well, but yeah, playing a little riskier here actually does help. Oh, stun lock is not going to help. And yeah, jumping too early for the stun lock, given the low ceiling, so. Okay. Let's try this once again. Just going to watch this a little more carefully. There we go. Much better when we do the crouch jump, in fact. Going to get that second hit. And we are through. And a much easier time, actually, than we did previously when I was just struggling to hit anything. Nope. Had a very brief window of opportunity there that we, of course, just missed. Yeah, none of the projectiles really matter at this point, but they do have a way of potentially obstructing your vision, so can't just discount them entirely. Okay. Nope. Miss. Very costly miss. And that's okay, we'll just do a bit of a double tap here. It's kind of nice to see on-off switches in a level that has no on-off control whatsoever, and just uses them as just a convenient, repeatable block. And one that doesn't bounce things everywhere, the way that the note blocks can operate. So let's get the moles back in position here. Nope. We probably want to stay on one side for as long as we can. Whoops, no. We could probably just duck under this, actually. This is coming down. I like this much better. When you duck under one spot. Luckily, Roy does not have enough room to just spawn here. Whoa, okay. Have to remember that Roy actually does shoot through walls. That's something I have every reason to know by now. Let's get Roy over here. And yeah, he's just going to take his time. Because he's going to consistently spawn in the middle position and then fire. So here's the problem. How do I get him to hop? I might need to reposition him somehow. Or just wait for him to give me a slightly better position. Let's do that. Yeah, sometimes do have to wait for the RNG to cooperate just a little bit here. Given that Roy does duck out immediately. But here's the title bout. We have 120 seconds to dance with Don Flamenco. Does Don Flamenco have stats? Yes, he does. Let's read the box. Let's read the box. Okay, it's not actually showing up from the distance that I'm standing at, so that's okay. Oh, nope, something was almost readable there. We should probably not spend too long on this. Don Flamenco has a record of 22-3, height 6'1", 152 pounds. How old is he? 23 from... where else? Okay. Now, my understanding is that the flamenco traditions in Spain actually are quite distinct by region. That, you know, the tradition of Madrid flamenco and Seville flamenco are full of a lot of local variation as well, as you would expect from any historic musical culture. Whoops. Okay, getting hit a little bit much, and unfortunately we do not have a margin of error here. Let's just make sure we don't get whacked on either side. Okay, good. We're fine as long as I don't get hit by fire, so the goal here is to be cautious. And we are through, and we won't even get another Super Ball because we are done. With 20 seconds remaining. So, thank you for that, Monokuma. I guess we'll see the final circuit next time you're able to submit, so... Thank you for that, as well as the easier version earlier. And we'll do the world circuit at another point. I see that this is a fairly new upload and that it still has no clears on it, so... If anybody's hunting first clears, it looks like this one is available. Okay, Nugukaza, if you're still here, to give us some E-Balloon magic. Let's see what you have in store this time. My choice? Okay. Probably not going to do something extremely precise today, just so we can get through something a little bit quicker. The one you showed me yesterday was the kind of pace I'd want to look for, actually. Like, this is a good kind of tuning for what we might want to get through as we try to close out the rest of the queue. But we'll just scroll down and find something appropriate. Anti-node node. And Donut Adventure Time. Looks like it's something on the easier side, or just something with lots of resets. And yeah, we had a lot of the precision stuff that I could not do. Little P-Balloon, the Numismatist, rather. Oh, Boo Precision, okay. Yeah, we'll do something that's not really super precise. And so, I don't know if you have a particular recommendation for it. Maybe this is a good time to bring in Donut Adventure then and see what this is all about. 4-minute record? Yeah, it could just be a high clear rate from lots and lots of resets, but we'll take a look. Oh, I actually had done the early version of this, hadn't I? Or do I just recognize the setup from something else? I think maybe I did do the early version of this. I can do it. But I think I have played this one. So, yeah, that's okay. I mean, I can look a bit at this version, but we can also do something else if you'd prefer to see something different. Let me know if you have a particular preference. I do see that some things here are already different from what I had seen early on, so... Yeah, this is fine. I mean, even this part here is already slightly new to me, so I really don't mind it. Yeah, P-Balloon over here. And then we grab that. Okay. And then, down here, knock out everything, and that's going to be checkpoints. And, yeah, fishbone segment over here. That I remember dying to a lot, actually. But if we just let the bones crash, then in general, we should be okay. Just need to let them home into locations that don't hit me. Let's turn off comments. We don't need to know that this was too hard for meh. And okay, we've got some new material here. And yeah, we could hit that either way. We have the POWs over here that look like they are going to be Koopa activated. Whoops. That's maybe not what I was going for, but okay. We can always get more balloons though, I'm sure. Maybe. And we have all these donut blocks here that will not really go anywhere. That's okay, we're at checkpoint. Yeah, mice run fast, I think that might be the case. That's meh is rather meh at this game. But at least they're honest with themselves. Okay. Now let's head over here. And yeah, I guess I shouldn't bop the Koopa the way I did. I mean, I should be able to... No, I need to bop it from below, actually, with the on-off switch. The whole point of the on-off switch is to kill the Koopa, not to activate anything. Yeah, that's how we do it, and then we deflect the shell onto the POWs. That's honestly not difficult to understand at all. We just tried the wrong thing, so... Back around here, that's going to be both munchers down, and then that allows me to go through the pipe. Or rather, through the pipe on the right side, because we weren't watching that very obviously placed one-way panel. Okay, here we go. Let's do this fight over here. I do remember this one in some form. And yeah, P-Balloon, that's okay. We'll just take the next one. And I think I hit the shell towards the switch. What does that do? That allows me to hit another shell towards the next switch. And then we cycle through again, I believe. That's how I understand this. All the fish bones die. And I see that things are steadily escalating with that piranha coming in the left side. And we'll do this once again, just letting the fish bones trigger if we can lead them over to this location. And just navigate our way through. Okay, we need another P-Balloon. We know we'll get one in just a moment. It does make this a lot more gentle. Okay, let's go down here. And up. And let's see what we can do. Okay, just need a P-Balloon once again. Let's wait for the previous one to just drift off the screen so we can come in and see this. Yeah, I need a fair number of shells too. Make it all the way across Bowser, of course. Let's not die to that. Okay. Yeah, surprisingly manageable considering how dense this is. Yeah, lead all the fish bones. Great, that's the idea. And do a bit of bullet dodging. Great. And then we're going to see what's here. Okay, just more coins. And here, more coins. Not going to check below the donut blocks. I think that would be a bridge too far. Oh, we didn't get any of the pink coins, actually. We missed a ton of stuff. I didn't search exhaustively for that at all, actually, now that we look at it, so... I don't remember if I had done some of the optional content in previous playtests. I feel like I must have. Some of it, at least, but maybe you implemented a lot of that late as well, so... Anyway, thank you for that, Nugukaza. We may have to do a proper secret hunt through that at some point, but... Yeah, I remember getting some of the coins and wandering around a bit more. I think it was kind of surprising to me that I went straight through this time quite the way I did, because there's a lot that's buried behind some of the donut pathways, I think. You can see it's actually quite a complex layout here. With, of course... Yeah, I mean, I am looking at this and just considering what ground we covered. And of course Bowser, whichever world he's placed in, would be way out of the way just to avoid any complications with Bowser Fire. But anyway, good to see the latest edition of that, Nugukaza. We'll try to do something newer and perhaps harder next time. But thank you for dropping by today. Yeah, the fight was familiar to me. I think some of the early segments were a little different than when I last played this, so... Thomas B, you're definitely here. Let's take a look at what you've sent me this time for KW. 38F, and yes, indeed, your patience has paid off handsomely. Quick Platforming Fun 3. The threequel is finally here. Let's take a look. Okay. Mushroom over here. Piranha plant over there. Yeah, we'll come up here and look for some secrets. Optional content. And yeah, doors there are to reset the platform. I do see that. So we're going to have some optional exploration over this bridge, but not for very far. Down here, we'll try to grab some coins and make up for that last Super Mario World forest level that we did by actually grabbing some coins this time, we hope. And up we are, 10 coin over there. Yeah, sure, we might as well grab it while we're still wandering around here. The pink coins are needed, I see, okay. So yeah, this is just sort of a bit of a non-linear exploration adventure then, as we hunt around and try to find them. Okay, let's get rid of that guy. Interesting muncher placement over here. Yeah, we can get up there by alternate means, so I'm not too concerned about this stuff here. We can go across this side. I said we can go across this side. Okay, we have the power of fire. Oh, thought that was going to be a pipe for me. That was not the case. Yeah, I was really hoping we could go up that pipe. We can still check it. Nope, seems like nothing. Okay, we probably missed a whole bunch of stuff on the lower level, but more reset doors for these platforms on our way up. Yeah, we'll just jump this guy and head up this way. And yeah, just one big open layout, I see. Sure, we'll totally fail to bop that guy. Okay, 3 coins so far. We will look for more. Well, that was coin 4. That was landing that was maybe a little bit harder to spot, but I'll try to remember where all of the required coins are then. Yeah, probably should have gone to get that mushroom early on, just have a safety margin here. Respawn everything. Okay, now we come up here, we drop on top of this Koopa. I feel like I had 2 coins by now last time I was here, if I correct. Let's check around just to be sure. Because there was a while when I didn't know that they were required. Yeah, that's okay. It's 2 coins. We saw the 3rd one shortly after, and then the 4th one was what we dropped on top of when we came down somewhere around here. Yes, this is the part where I tossed a Koopa shell. And it's this platform that was getting me into some issues with that fishbone drop up the top as well, so... Yeah, there's some things that, depending on the player's camera position going into visibility, it could be slightly better, especially, I guess, with those pipes consistently spawning fishbones rather than giving me something I actually want. And we have 1 more coin to go, likely in the bottom right here. Yes, exactly. Can't believe I dodged that. And thank you so much for the follow. And the skull says goodbye. Okay. Well, goodbye to you too. So now we have this going on. We spin, and it's going to be a bit of a chase against the rising poison level. Let's not get complacent about how far the poison is going to go. It's way off screen, but I don't know when it's going to catch up to me, so if we need to stall on any of this. I would assume the poison is tuned in such a way that we do need to do everything accurately here, but especially because we do go down a little bit before heading back up. Yeah, more fire flowers would be quite welcome here. We'll just lose it immediately. Swamp is going to give me a way to get upstairs. Very nice of that. And we have multiple pathways here, which is nice. Yeah, I like the openness of the layout, for sure. The fishbone pipes do catch me a little off guard every time, I think partly just because of visibility when you're scrolling up towards them. Sure, we'll just take the lift. And a reset over here indicating to me that... Well, this is interesting, because when you respawn from checkpoint, obviously you have the poison level starting from the very beginning all over again. Also notice this scroll break here, that's very curious. And is the poison going to stop? Yes, it does stop, okay. But then, yeah, I guess the level is kind of regulated around this poison level. From here, you can see that it doesn't go back down, so... Everything works out past checkpoint, as far as I can tell. Because the poison level at that point simply does not matter. Okay. And yeah, that could have gone better, probably, just with all of these guys coming down and giving me my way over for the next part here. Whoops. And that's going to be a GG facing left. Oh, nice little coin heart over here. Sure, let's collect as much as we can of the heart. And Yoshi's going to await us on the other side, so... Yeah, very nice. Thanks for that, Thomas B. As far as traditional platforming goes, I think it's relatively uncommon these days that I see them built just with that big continuous open layout. It feels like that used to be more popular. But maybe I don't really keep up with the traditional scene very much, but as things have become a little more linear and setup oriented or gimmick oriented, I find that sometimes a lot of levels that are traditional can have this narrower linearity to them. And this one, the progress through it is still very straightforward, but then you just have this continuously open zone, which is very nice to navigate through. So thank you for that. Although the fish bones really did dunk on me quite a few times. Terminator, if you're still here, we can return to you for the second submission from you. Whether it's just a continuation of the one we couldn't clear earlier, or if it's something else, we'll put in a little bit of time in that and see how that goes. Just going to wait for a check-in. I think Terminator might be gone. That's okay. We saw a pretty good submission from him earlier that we simply couldn't clear, so... and Mr. X the Guy is also gone. Okay, so we are actually going to be at the end of the queue, which is great because this is a good time to do that. The stream is not finished. We do have more content coming very shortly. Let me just see if we can clear out the rest of the queue first. Mr. X the Guy did say goodbye earlier, so we are pretty sure he's also not going to check in. So for those of you new to this stream, usually, if we have time left over at the end, I will open for submissions from people who arrived after queue closing, if we have some room. I will not be doing that today because we have another feature instead, if Mr. X the Guy does not check in. And yeah, just give me a moment here. I will be back in just a moment to continue to stream with a look at some of the makers that you can expect in 5YMM, as the first uploads are going to be coming up over the next few hours with the official launch of the trailer and the codes list and everything coming very soon, in fact, at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Central European Time, I believe.